He's married now with kids, and
he missed out on the birth of his kids.
Yeah,
you could have been like an uncle. Yeah.
I could have been giving birth to your kids.
Look at the tears coming down.
Oh, he's crying.
Yeah,
I love it.
But it's never too late. I mean, I'm just glad. I gotta thank Al Gore for inventing the internet, because otherwise he would have never been able to find me.
All right, Richard, congratulations. Get that apartment.
You should. What about thanking Ben Franklin for inventing electricity?
Absolutely.
Right.
And I got to
thank you for all inventions.
And I got to thank you, Howard, because the way he found me was he found out that I worked on this show.
All right, Richard, congratulations. I got to move along. And there's your toilet. There's Richard's toilet, Artie.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, Richard. Come on, dude.
How can that girlfriend of yours goes to this apartment?
Well, I gotta thank her. She's the greatest girl in the whole world. She cleaned up the toilet yesterday, cleaned the whole apartment. I came home from the gigs this weekend, and the apartment was spotless. She's awesome.
I mean, like let's say this: you're the sloppiest gay guy I've ever met. I mean, usually they don't like.
Well, that's a overreaction.
All those pictures are on howardstern.com. howardstern.com. Mason, this friend, you loved him so much, and this will be my last question to you about it because I am running late. It's 10:35 already, and I have to go. But this friend, if he was dying and you could save him by blowing him, would you do it?
Wow, that's a tough question.
The only thing to save his life, would be to blow him.
The only obvious answer is no.
You wouldn't blow your friend that you love so much that
you'd let him die.
I'd cry
to keep him alive.
I'd cry as he passed away, and I would hope he would understand.
All right, so maybe the only way he can live is if he blows you.
Would you let him blow you?
I might let him kiss around the head or something.
I mean, you've let.
I wouldn't be able to get hard. I mean, he'd just have to suck on my flaccid penis. But if it was life or death, maybe I'd let him do that. I'm not.
All right, Richard, go ahead.
I'm not gay.
Go invent some great comedy, and God bless you, and thank you very much.
Love everybody here.
Love you too.
Thank you.
All right.
Wow.
Will you cry like that for us?
No. He hasn't had any good times with us.
Imagine this poor guy. He's like, I got rid of him.
Dude, what has happened to you?
I don't know.
I'm emotional. Is this the result of just having an emotional week last week as well?
No. I was real emotional, like, when this guy emailed me.
Now, how long ago was it when he emailed you?
About 3 or 4 weeks ago.
So you're back in contact pretty much?
Yeah.
Why, when you rehash some of the great memories you've had, does it get you all choked up? It's not as if he died, though.
No, I know, but we had so much fun, and are you trying to make me cry now, too?
No, I'm just saying, he clearly means a lot to you.
I know, but when I talk about this, I get all choked up, but I had so many good times then, and it's just like when you have a best friend and you don't know what happened to him, and you remember so many good times.
And so it's almost tears of joy that you've reconnected with him?
Yeah, absolutely.
It conjures up a lot of... Coupled with the whole Artie thing, you've become an emotional man.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with it. Well, I was like, if that would have never happened, I'd still be choked up.
Okay, well, put that aside, though. This might help you actually get back in the ring with Artie, so to speak.
Why?
It just seems like when you come in now, he's starting to wear down a little bit. Like, he wants to make fun of you.
You don't want anything to affect the show.
But I'm saying, like, this could be an olive branch being extended, because the fact that he was even willing to address that you're in the... I'm saying he's starting to come around a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be mad at somebody forever.
All right.
I don't stay mad at anybody forever. I don't stay mad at people for more than a day.
You're a big softie, dude.
Yeah, I guess so.
I always knew you were. I knew you were a loving guy, but I didn't know you were a tear guy.
Come on, I'll miss you after all this is done.
Artie's saying he refuses to work with Richard. He's calling Human Resources. He says, well, I don't want to work with a guy. I didn't know this. Richard, for real, hasn't showered since Sunday, and he's been running every day.
Oh, geez. It's the dead of the summer. Look, I like Richard, but I'm not bullshitting. I really, that's actionable.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's gross. We should have to work with someone like that. That's
and as
really
you say,
gross.
we're in the center of civilization. We're in New York City where there's plenty of showering.
There's water everywhere.
Water. Homeless people shower in the summer.
And what's with his girlfriend? That she seems normal to me. I mean, I've met her a few times. She seems normal.
She's all right.
But I know she's with Richard, so I have to think something's wrong.
There's got to be something wrong. Dude, what? You're smiling, but it's not funny.
I even think that funny walk of his is because he's dirty.
I'm smiling because what Sal just said.
What did he say?
He said I should come in and say, Artie, your stand-up stinks. But I said, Sal, that's more like something you would say.
Right.
But I mean, nobody.
It's not funny.
Nobody would have.
Sal, that joke stinks.
Nobody would have known if I wouldn't have said
what
something
are you trying
to Will.
prove? Like, why are you not showering?
I haven't, to tell you the truth, I haven't been coming in the commercial breaks because I'm kind of got a little bit of a cold. So I'm not feeling real good, and I just...
Because there's germs crawling up and down your filthy body.
Well, I don't think not showering can give you a cold.
You might feel better if you took a nice hot shower.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go right to bed when I get home. I just haven't.
And then you go running, too?
I went running on Monday, but I haven't.
How many miles?
Since. Like 5 miles.
Wow.
In Central Park.
And you didn't shower since then?
No.
Rich, you sound almost retarded. Are you doing a bit or something?
No, nobody. I mentioned it to Will.
And why do you wear pumpkin-scented body cream? To cover up the stink?
I just like the smell of it.
But why do you then come in and take off your clothes and all? I mean,
it's offensive, man.
And you're a 3.
But has anybody complained until I said that nobody knew.
I don't go near your guy's room because it does smell back there.
It does stink in the room.
But when we try to put an air freshener in there, you complain.
Because I don't like the smell of air freshener.
It's a fucking shower. You want
Yeah, I mean, the showering would relieve all of the stress.
But Sal hasn't complained that I stink.
He's a gross pig, too.
Richard, were you just bragging outside about that you haven't showered since Sunday and how bad your balls stink?
Well, I was bragging because I wanted that gay guy to smell my balls. I thought it'd be funny if he smelled my stinky balls. That's funny to me. See, Howard's laughing.
He's laughing at you.
No, I'm not laughing. Oh, boy. All right, listen, Lisa Lampanelli is here.
Yeah, we have to go on with the show.
By the way, Joey and Jason's kiss is on howardstern.com. I think it will shut everyone up once and for all. Joey is gay. It's just no question.
And I'm pissed that guy gave me a 3. Like, I'm legitimately angry.
You're not that hot, evidently.
Yeah, but I mean...
The gay guys don't like you. So what?
So,
why would you be upset about
a gay man thought you were a 3. So
Richard, it doesn't matter who it is. When you get a 3, that's like a bummer.
Richard, you're a filthy, pale, germ-ridden...
Yeah, be upset
redneck.
about that.
But that guy doesn't know I'm filthy. He just looked at me and called me a 3.
You can tell you're not clean.
You don't hear Artie bitching about his floor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little upset about that, but,
But I could say the same thing about you, Artie. Like, you're a mess. You eat too much. You're way overweight. Like,
what the fuck does that have to do with showering, you fucking crumb bun?
I would rather smell and be in somewhat
retarded.
healthy than be way overweight. I mean, it's easier to shower.
It doesn't affect us.
Yeah, we're talking about affecting other people
Lisa,
in the
you're
workplace.
a lady. I mean, when
you have
you're
a greasy film over you.
When a guy doesn't shower for 4 days after running in Central Park for 5 miles.
Yeah, that's harsh, man. You should take like 2 a day, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
I know.
Why not? It don't matter. Who's it going to hurt, you fucking hillbilly freak?
Right.
I know.
He's right.
Disgusting, you know?
Speaking the truth.
I'm not saying that what I'm doing is right. I'm just saying that, once in a while I'll miss a shower or 2, but Artie's like freaking out over it. And
I am, because you know what? Because how dumb you sound.
I don't stink, though. Like, nobody has said I stink.
Oh, you stink. You're offensive.
We told you the room you sit in reeks. It didn't reek. There's no other room around here that reeks.
I smelled you
but
before.
yours.
I think a lot of that's in your head just because.
No, I walked in there.
No, it's in my nose.
No, you need to shower every day.
I'm sorry. I'll shower.
Go shower.
Legitimately, I haven't felt very good this week, and that's a lot of the reason.
But you don't shower most of the time.
He doesn't like the shower.
He doesn't. He's a hillbilly. That's what Lisa said.
Just get in a routine. Jump in before you go to bed. Wash the nutsack. Wash the pits. Get the fuck out.
You know what happens? Like, seriously, people get pulled aside like you, where I'm from, and you get punched in the face. You get shit kicked out of you.
People get fired for hygiene shit.
Of course.
On the job, man. You're lucky that it's funny.
If I went to Human Resources and said there's a guy that never showers, you know what? You're fucked.
Did Sal smell your balls?
Would he?
Yeah.
Sal, you want to come in and smell my balls? That's a good idea.
You haven't been gay enough today.
I was going to say, we saw Joey kissing that fat guy. Now we got to do this. Uh-oh.
Right. Sal's so desperate to get on the air, he might actually do this. Sorry, Lisa, not in front of the lady.
Yeah, right.
By the way, Lisa Lampanelli looks so good. She lost, you must have lost 80 pounds.
No, maybe just 40, dude. I'm just working out a lot, man.
You look good.
Thanks,
what is it?
Dude.
Sal won't come in. He got to the front door when he heard you say he was just doing this for attention.
Okay, all right.
Come on, Sal.
All right, well, I'm not going to beg him to come in.
What a dummy.
All right, thank you,
Sal's
Richard.
my partner.
Well, go back there and do it on your own.
Go back there in the room and smell each other's balls.
Let's make some great TV. Come in and smell my balls.
Ugh, that's great TV.
Embarrass your children even more.
By the way, Lisa was great in Larry the Cable Guy Health Inspector. I love that movie.
For my 13 seconds, I rocked that shit out.
Why? What, a cameo? Oh, here's Sal. Sal, smell his balls and get it over with.
Go on, Sal.
I should stand away from Lisa. I don't want her.
Yeah, tell me how bad it is.
Don't offend the guests.
Don't offend Lisa. She doesn't want to smell that. All right. Sal, go ahead. What is that, Sal?
She fucked Joey Boots. How much more could you not be offended?
True.
Sal, smell those things.
I'll tell you.
Tell me how bad it is on a scale of 1 to 10.
God.
I want to be dead honest so we could settle this stink shit once and for all.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Smell. Wow.
There you go. Come on. Get in there.
I love how Lisa's reading her notes.
Really bad.
Go ahead. Smell them.
There's heat coming off of it.
All right, smell it.
It's like a heater.
It's a steam bath. A
Just
dirty
get it over.
Come on, get that nose in there.
Is it horrible?
God.
Is it horrible?
Smells sour. Oh, jeez, it smells terrible.
No, I don't believe you, though. Will, get in there and
I swear to God, it smells awful, awful.
But Howard, even look what he's doing right now. He's not going to wash his hands.
I swear I will wash my hands.
It smells like he's touching his sweaty, dirty cock and balls. What, you're going to touch everything?
It smells yeasty, like a bad vagina.
He's baking bread.
How about Jason?
Oh, my
All right.
God.
Enough. All right. Go back to your room now. Wash your hands like
I swear I will wash my hands.
He's not going to wash his hands.
I will. They can film me.
in hot water.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Boiling.
Thank you.
Yeah, really.
Right.
Boiling water.
I swear to God, it's the fucking crap.
Punch him, Gadget.
Come on, Gage, smell it. All right, thank you.
I swear to God, I'll punch you.
Richard just took his hand and put it in Sal's face, and Sal just freaked.
His ball hand.
Gage, if you start beating him up, I will come over and help you punch him in the face.
I invited Artie out to stay at my place because out there in the Hamptons they were having a concert with Tom Petty.
How great was Tom Petty, man?
Tom Petty was awesome.
You went to see Tom Petty too?
I did, and Sal's in a snit because John Hine was with us at the Tom Petty concert. He's out of his
Still, even though you had nothing to do with him being there.
His beef was that I invited John Hine to the Tom Petty concert and not him. I explained to him I didn't even know John was going to be there.
Right.
Gary invited him, and he's still out in the hall bitching about it, and here's the tape to prove it.
I'll be the first one to tell you that night at Lakeland...
Wait, wrong tape. Here we go.
Gives a shit about Tom Petty. I'm saying the gesture would have been nice, that's all. You know, you make a nice gesture. Everybody works together. You say, hey, you know, we're going over here. Come on out. But instead, you know, he ends up with the golden boy, John Hine. Because it's very, very difficult to say 4 highlights of the show every day. You know, I could see how, you know, John Hine should get the pat on the back for that. Oh, wait, and then you have those music specials. Those are real good, too. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. Let me dig into the archives and get 100 songs and shuffle them around 6 times.
Dude, I think you're overly simplifying John's job, man.
No, John's great. I love John. Wonderful. I mean, he's the creative Jump the Shark. We all remember how great those segments were on K-Rock, right?
Wow, dude.
Why didn't you say this on the air?
Yeah, seriously.
I love John. You guys are just trying to pin me against John.
By the way, the word is pit.
Pit.
Yeah, not pin. You guys are trying to pin me against John Hein.
Yeah, that's
He uses it a couple of times.
Hey, you at all? I never questioned John's integrity in the workplace here. Come on.
His what?
Integrity in the workplace.
Is that what you call it? No, I love John. I think John does a great job. He does a great job hosting the wrap-up show. If you're trying to pin me against John, it's not going to happen. I admire what John does. I'm just saying that, if Howard invites one person from the second tier, you should invite a couple, invite the whole crew. But apparently Howard didn't invite John. Gary did. So I'm actually glad it wasn't Howard. I'm glad it was Gary, because I wouldn't be seen of us both making me sick to my stomach.
Evidently, Gary and Sal got in a fight on the wrap-up show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is one big soap opera, this whole channel. Gary and Sal were fighting. I don't know if you heard it before.
No, I didn't.
This is about, to me, whenever we do an extended stand-up show, where like we did in Tampa, like, Gary will come down and do a few minutes, Richard, Sal, all of us on the show. There's really, really a lot of insane competition as to who does well on stage, and I think those tensions boil over here. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to tell you that night in Lakeland was a rough night for everyone. The only person that could walk off that stage with their head held high was Richard Christie.
Absolutely.
Everybody else will absolutely admit that was a rough night.
Gary, Sal did good. Richard did great.
He did good because he fell off the stage.
Sal almost killed himself. I didn't do good because I fell off the stage. That was the
No,
grand
you did good
finale.
because every joke had the N-word in it.
No,
and you were in Lakeland.
Gary, can I ever get a word out without you just fucking totally annihilating me? Why don't you just take out a gun and shoot me and get it over with? I can't get a fucking word in. Jesus Christ.
You bore me.
I'm boring.
Yes.
You, a guy who could bring a fucking show to a screeching halt 10 to 15 times a day minimum, you're calling me boring.
How come it's not
How come I can't come in here?
How come it's not the wrap-up show with John and Sal?
How come I can't express myself without saying one word without you just totally attacking
me? It generally starts with you telling me why I'm wrong.
No, I didn't see. You're defensive. All these years of getting battered by Howard, you think now all of a sudden when somebody comes up with an opinion...
What was the first thing you said to me when you walked in just now?
You said Sal was good because he fell off the stage. And I said, that was the grand finale, but I did well that night. I held my own. I wasn't booed off the stage.
Nobody said you were.
You.
Nobody said you were booed off the stage.
Okay, and then you're only funny because of the
We don't know whether you were booed off the stage. You fell off an asshole.
Do I do N-words on my roast? Do I? 5 in a row?
I'll tell you what.
Why do you just keep attacking me?
I'll make
I
you a
got
deal right
nothing
now.
against you, dude.
Here you go.
But no matter what I say,
let me talk, and I'll
you
tell
are
you.
the end-all. You are Mr. Know-It-all.
Let me tell you something right now.
I think all that fucking chocolate has gotten to your fucking brain.
I'll put $500 on the table. I'll dare you to make an audience laugh, and you can't make any racist or homophobic jokes.
I've done that plenty of times. First of all, I'm not here to make anybody laugh. I came in...
and an excellent job you're doing.
So then Sal was so angry, he goes back to his studio and then records this.
Oh, dear.
Like his only consolation is to record Gary Baba
Yeah. I have no idea how weird it is. I'm sitting in my office, and you can hear Sal scream, because he has to do each voice like layer over another, and I could hear him screaming, singing away.
Yeah. That's his therapy.
It's like punching me. It's like hitting a punching bag with my face on it.
But here's my point with Sal. Like, which guy do you believe? Do you believe the guy who railed against John? He said some vicious things about John Hein there.
John, how did you take that one?
Really, really cruel. And so do you believe that guy or the guy who goes, I love John
Hein. He
to
does
me,
a great job.
He walked into the office and he said to John, just want to let you know, they prodded me. But in the piece, they'll tell you they didn't prod him at all. And again, I want to point out that John gives Sal a ride home 4 to 5 days a week and never asks for a nickel, never gets one.
Wow. How did you take that?
The funny part is when I'm listening to that clip and getting all pissed, he comes over. It's just a bit. And that's even more insulting. You know what I mean? Like, if he really feels that way, then say so. And, he'll have to walk home. That's all.
Will you continue to give him a ride?
Yeah, but maybe I'll leave him off in Queens or something like that and make him fine.
But he said some real, like he's talking about your segments at K-Rock. That's really that's going back pretty far, man. I don't know.
Listen to me. Oh, like you've never said a bad word about anybody.
Well, I copped to it, though.
So you're completely, so I did the same thing. You know what? There's something on the show called honesty. If I'm a little angry about something, I express my opinion.
What was the honesty?
No, I know John's a good guy. We get along, but because I express something, God forbid. But when I'm called a retard and a racist and a pedophile, I can fucking go in the back and keep my mouth shut. I could deal with it, man.
Dude,
but when I say it, look at all of a sudden, now I'm the backstabbing scumbag.
This guy gives you a ride 4 times
this weekend.
The wife?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
No action, like anything else.
Oh, you went away for a week?
On a vacation?
Well, I can't afford it 2 rooms, so I got one. The kids were sleeping next to me. I tried to slip a finger one night, and my 4-year-old got up with the school bus banging it over my head, so nothing happened.
Jesus.
Who called you a pedophile? What are you talking about?
You know what I'm saying? I'm just exaggerating. I'm just saying that, hey, in the forum of this show, the way this show works is that we rib each other. Do I really hate John Hein? Of course not.
Come on, though. You tacked everything. You said his segments bomb.
Listen to the way
That's how I get under his skin, of course.
Well, why are you getting under his skin? What did he do wrong?
The thing is that...
What did he do to you?
Why did you let
him... to a concert.
He didn't do anything to me.
Sal firmly believes that you invited me out to that concert.
And you're covering?
I'm still the new guy here, so you bypassed everybody else in having me come. I mean, am I right? Sal and I haven't even talked about this. Is that accurate?
Howard, I said to you...
All right, get out of here, Sal.
If you want to invite this fucking guy, invite him. I'm not crying to you about it.
And by the way, I will invite him. I don't give a fuck about any pecking order.
I think that's a good idea.
I like him better than you.
Fine, go ahead. Suck his cock for all I can.
I trust the fucking guy. You're crazy.
Oh, you don't trust me?
No.
All right, that's nice.
I would never trust you in my house.
That's ridiculous. You're a really sick, twisted man.
I'm not a guy who goes around smelling Mutt's daughter's panties.
See, that's all right. You know what? I could deal with that. I'm not going to cry like a little baby and put all these little conspiracies together like all you people do. Huh? I have nothing against John Hein. I gave the guy a couple of ribs. So what? I said he comes on the air and says 4 highlights of the day. Is that so fucking difficult? Well, today, Howard, we're going to talk about why Sal was pissed off at Howard for not going to the Hamptons. We'll speak to Sal and take some calls and figure that out.
Well, it is difficult.
Also, today's show, what was an Artie Lang's P.S.? We'll have Artie on the show, and wow, that takes so much fucking talent. No offense, John.
And he does a great job.
I know. So what do you want?
You guys fighting and everying else.
And I love the guy for it. So I'm just saying that, you know what? I mean, the guy is not the next Howard Stern. Big deal. That's just my opinion. I think he does a great job on the show, but it's not like he's not revolutionizing anything, man. Jesus Christ.
You got a lot of fucking thoughts, man.
No offense, man, but I take 100,000 digs a day on the show. I just let it roll off my back. If I didn't, I would kill myself. So take 1 or 2, and pick your shit between. I mean, who cares?
We're making a big deal out of it, not John. John isn't.
I like John, but no. All of a sudden now I'm whatever. I'm falling back.
You certainly let your real thoughts out. That's for sure.
What's my real thoughts?
That John basically is an overpaid.
I never said that.
Well, that's what you're saying. You're saying you're worth way more than him.
Nope,
that
never
he
said that
sucks.
Either.
That all he does is listen and pick through best of material, and you basically belittled everything he does here.
I don't belittle it. I'm saying if you
trying to plant thoughts in people's minds.
I'm saying to you, if you look at the whole,
you're undermining what he does,
dude,
and you're saying it's unimportant.
When you're a general in the army, you bring the whole troop. That's how I look at it.
I didn't bring any troop.
All right? You just brought one soldier. You took one soldier out of the ditches.
There was no battle.
And you left everybody else in the storm. That's how I look at it.
Took no one.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
But what do you mean? Am I lying?
No, but
asshole.
But I'm not saying you're lying. But
I'll tell you if I invited John Hein.
And you can. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't ever give any thought whether you care or not. I don't care if you're hurt by it.
You don't think what will Sal think when I do this?
It never enters into my thoughts. What will Sal think? I will invite John. In fact, now because of this, you're invited to everything that I do.
Thanks.
I mean it.
You should thank Sal, actually.
Thanks, Sal. Don't thank me.
Thanks, Sal.
Today we're going to talk about my next party at the Howard Stern Show.
That's
We'll
right.
take some calls, talk to Sal about how he truly feels about me, and have Gary's stupid opinions to follow.
Sal,
All this today
Sal, would you
on the
respect,
wrap-up show.
Would you respect John more if he took Richard's cock to his face?
Yes, I would.
That's revolutionary.
No, the truth is, we all get along and stuff. I'm just saying that I'm sorry, John, if you was offended by that. I was just a little personally hurt. You know, you guys are all going out there. I really don't care for Tom Petty. I probably would have said no.
I had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I saw John there. It was as surprised as anyone.
Sal, he didn't even have anything to do. I aggressively wanted to go see Tom Petty. I made a conscious. I said to Howard, I might want to do that. And then he said to me, all right, look, if you're going to come out.
Stay by me.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And somehow Gary had a ticket, and he decided to ask John High.
Right.
And that's fine, and I'm happy for everybody.
I have to have
really.
an event now so I can invite John to it, not Sal. now because of you, I'm forced to have an event. All right,
that you're not invited to.
Sal clearly underestimating your role here.
He can think whatever he wants to think. He's a twisted mind. He entertains me every day, though, going home. I got to say that. But the fact that get the fuck away.
Yeah, dude, this is your ride home.
See, now if I say to John, oh, John, I'm only dicking around.
Sal says he's only kidding.
No, but I'm not going to do that anymore because
there's truth in whatever you're kidding about stuff. There's truth. I remember when I was on one time and Sal called in and said, could you get, what'd you call me? Oh,
Sharky the Clown.
Yeah, get Sharky the Clown off the air. So I didn't know how Sal felt about me. Jumped the shark appearances, but
how do you think I truly feel about you? For real. Hands down, how do you think I truly feel?
I think you're jealous of the relationships that I have with Howard and Gary. I think that you think that I am overpaid and don't work.
No, I don't think that. I swear, I never made any implication of that. That's wrong. I'm telling you right now.
I think that you say you're doing a bit, but a lot of times it's how you really feel, and that's
how I have to soften the blow.
And I think that you're gonna have to find another ride home.
No, that's terrible.
Well, so are you.
Scumbags. Everybody in this place is a scumbag. What happened to the good old... What happened to honesty around here? What happened to it? You're honest? See what happens? You get right in the fucking ass. I was honest about him, and now I miss rides home. So who gets fucked in the end? Me.
They had to record that outside because nobody wanted him up here.
You mean like we took him outside the building?
No, he never got in the building. We met him outside the building.
That's when you know you're really a mess. When we won't let you into the studio.
But that's normal for him, you know? Like, everybody meets him outside.
He has an odor that he's had from the day we met him.
Is that true?
Yes.
Wow.
Well,
he smells like vomit or like old vomit. He really does. So we kept him outside.
Makes sense. I mean, he loves vomit.
But where's he getting it from? He couldn't find anybody to vomit on him.
He's left us messages.
Meanwhile, we have somebody record something every day to intro who the guest is or what's going on the show. And this is just so stupid. I don't even know why I'm bringing this up because there's so many better things to talk about. But Sal comes in the other day. He goes, now Sal never goes out and produces bits. You know what I mean? He went out and brought back a recorded intro for the show.
Relevant.
And he goes, this is, I recorded Larry Caputo doing the intros for the show. And like we all were like, so you finally go out and do a bit. Nobody knows who fucking Larry Caputo is. No offense to Larry. And, you know, and Sal doesn't even understand that because he's mentioned Larry Caputo twice on the show, that he's married to the Long Island medium.
Right.
He goes, everyone knows who Larry Caputo is. But he goes, they know. I've mentioned him many times on the show. And he thinks everyone's wrapped up in the Sal storyline with Larry Caputo. And
in his world, it's a big deal.
Yeah, so he walked in with this bit.
Hey, this is Larry Caputo.
Oh, and here's the other interesting thing, if I may point it out. So Sal wrote what Larry Caputo's saying, and everything Larry Caputo says in these things is about cock. And listen.
Hey, this is Larry Caputo. On today's show, Mr. Skin. That's my nickname for Sal's penis when I give him a hand job. Anyway, I got to wash up. Take it away, Howard.
Everything he wrote was about giving Sal a hand job or, fucking Sal. That was his bit. It's all about Sal and Larry Caputo. He's in love with this guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Needless to say, we didn't use the Larry Caputo intros.
Well, he got it on the air. You just played one.
Yeah, I guess I did, but Sal didn't understand why this wasn't great.
It was so funny. Sal believes that woman is real, and her TV show must be coming around again because she was on Dr. Oz and she was on Live with Kelly a week ago, and they really take care of her and act as if
she's real.
She's real.
Jesus.
They get a new audience. They do all kinds of stuff to set things up for her.
They buy into it.
Yeah, and then she comes out and she doesn't know. These people from the other side don't remember what their names are.
Oh, they forget?
In this life or who they belong to.
And then, like, Kelly Ripa and Dr. Oz are like, that was amazing.
It. They just say, wow. Because people start crying in the audience. She'll say, okay, I'm getting from the other side, they're telling me that someone had a person die before their time. Does that resonate with anybody?
Yeah, Robin, this comes from someone who takes ayahuasca and shit all over herself. You're a valid person to discuss this.
I'm just telling you what she does.
She is valid.
I didn't make it up.
What she does, Robin.
I'm telling you what I saw.
Well, you're seeing things just like you did on ayahuasca.
Who's laughing
she
behind
doesn't
Sal?
do this? Richard, probably.
Sorry, JD.
JD over here.
JD's like giggling. Like,
JD's upset with me.
And
by the way, ayahuasca is a hallucinogen.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What are you on, pal?
Who would take a hallucinogen, Howard? Somebody who's sane?
Look, you take drugs from India that you can't even document to try to grow hair.
That's true.
Yeah, that is funny. But look.
But so then 5 people will raise their hands in different parts of the audience, and she'll tell them all, okay, with you, it was he was a young man. Well, he died before his time. And she just keeps going down the line like that, just being very general and vague, and then people are raising their hands.
And people are like, oh, my God, this is great.
Yeah, and they're crying and carrying on.
Sal, have you gotten a reading from her yet, or you're afraid to?
I've gotten a few things. I don't care to discuss it because you guys will make fun of it.
What did you learn? Tell me.
None of your business.
Who'd you speak to?
People. Dead people.
Yeah, okay. Who'd you speak to? Grandparents?
No.
Who?
Joey Boots.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
What did he say?
He said Robin's nuts. Well, can I come in for a minute?
Sure. If you're going to talk about
if you wouldn't talk to Joey Boots, you can come in.
Yeah.
I would give Larry Caputo a hand job.
Funny, when Joey Boots was alive, I never talked to him. Now I'm interested in what he has to say now that he's dead.
Sal.
Yeah. What did Joey Boots say? I'm curious.
I'll tell you what Joey Boots said.
Okay.
Something that I never knew about.
Go ahead.
We never knew.
Okay.
Apparently, he had a falling out with his brother, who he was very, very, very close to. And
now this, in other words, this is the Long Island Medium telling you this is what Joey's talking about.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And he said, please let my brother know. He goes, when we were close, we were inseparable. And then we had a falling out. He goes, and now that I am on the other side, I want to let my brother know that I'm very, very sorry. I take full responsibility for the breakup of our relationship. And then he said, let my brother know about the bowl haircut that they were recently laughing about. He'll know exactly what I mean.
Now, did you call Joey's brother?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He said the day before on
at the service, there was a picture of Joey with a bowl haircut that they were all standing around laughing at.
Right.
That his mother gave to him on his first day of school. It was a specific picture that was nowhere else. And his brother told him, "Oh, let me finish."
All right.
So the brother said nobody knew about this picture at all.
Okay.
The bowl haircut, but that's what
Right.
Joey specifically wanted to do to connect with his brother. He also brought up other things as well, and the brother felt like there was closure there.
Did the Long Island medium bring this up to you, or did you ask about Joey Boots?
I did not ask about Joey Boots.
All right. So how do you think this all came about? Have you put that together yet?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The show, it's out there.
Right.
Right.
So somebody who was at the funeral, or they send out a researcher to impress you, and then it makes it on the air to us. No. Don't you get that?
All right. If you want to believe, that's fine. That's fine.
All right.
She did know she was reading you in advance, right? You didn't just walk in and say, "Read me."
No, I didn't ask to be read.
No. You know what she said? Sal, I think you should come here. Someone's trying to contact you.
No. What happened was the day I floated and I saw the Buddha hand.
Yeah.
I called her.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And she said, "You floated and you saw these things because death is on your mind. Somebody close to you passed away recently." And I said, "Yes," and it was Joey Boots. And she said, and he came forward and he explained a lot of things.
Okay. All right.
All right, so how do you explain him with the brother and the relationship?
I told you. I told you exactly.
She had a spy at
Of course, Sal, you're on the Howard Stern radio show.
Not only that, there's Facebook now.
Yeah, of course.
People tweet.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit's out there.
That's true. That's very true. And you know what?
Any chance you're going to levitate the fuck out of here?
Yeah.
With this bullshit?
You levitate out. This is my show, too. Remember?
That's right. I forgot.
You said this is... Yeah, I'm Negan.
Yeah, where's my
get
bat?
the fuck out.
Well.
All right. Well, that's...
Hey, by the way, I hear you're listening to positive affirmation audio tapes. How's that going?
Well, you can't tell?
What are you trying to
What are you trying to accomplish?
It's working. It's working. There's this lady, Louise Hay, who is absolutely wonderful, wonderful woman.
Right.
I think now that I'm getting older in my life and I look at my boys growing up, it brings me back to when I was that age.
Yeah.
And, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Take that bat and bash yourself over the head with it, Howard.
So you're listening to the tapes.
I'm just wondering what you need to hear that
turtle.
you want to change your thoughts.
I'm a turtle. Well, remember like the pure OCD and the intrusive thoughts, and I self-sabotage myself. I feel like I'm not worthy to be happy, and I figured out why. Because when things are going well in my life, I was raised always by my dad reminding me that I'm a jackass. So there you go.
Good for you, Sal. All right, here's an update on Sal.
There you go.
Thank you for
the you get, the dumber you get.
Thank you for writing the Larry Caputo bits. Everyone enjoys them.
Well, this is going to sound crazy, but
really
pterodactyls.
What is that, Sal?
This is going to sound crazy, but there's pterodactyls.
Forget talking about Joey Boots. How did he think? What possessed him to do those IDs?
Well,
she was up here promoting her new book, and I said, "Come in and do the IDs." And you guys always say that we...
What, the Long Island medium?
Yes.
But you got Larry Caputo instead.
Right. Because I just got it, Howard.
Right. Oh, okay. It wasn't the Long Island medium doing it.
That's right.
Yeah, but...
And you wrote, and everything you wrote for him was about giving you a hand job and having sex with you.
I was just playing. It was tongue in cheek because you guys always say that we're boyfriends. That's why.
Well, Sal did have a rough childhood.
Yes,
Sal was telling me a story the other day. This is such a great story.
What?
Sal was annoying his dad, so his dad had to smack Sal, and he was wearing his pinky ring.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Sal's dad hurt his pinky beating Sal.
Oh.
And he blamed Sal and hit him again.
Yeah.
He take the ring off and hit you again?
Yeah, because you hurt his finger.
Yeah, he whacked me in the pizzeria on the side of the head. And all of a sudden he looked at his pinky and goes, "You motherfucker, you hurt my pinky." And then he really beat the shit out of me.
Oh, geez.
So I'm the only kid who got beat up for hurting my father's finger for beating me up.
I think that positive affirmation book will help you through that.
Yeah. Well, they always did say, "This hurts me more than it hurts you."
Oh, I didn't play this one. Here's Larry Caputo introducing John Mellencamp, which is even a gayer one.
Hey, this is Larry Caputo. On today's show, John Mellencamp. Hurts so good, like my penis and Sal's ass. Take it away, Howard.
You wrote that for him too, huh?
Yeah, we're all pals.
And further evidence that Sal has a crush on Larry Caputo.
Yes.
They went out with the wives for Valentine's Day. Sal sat next to Larry Caputo.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, it's 4 seats, and you're going to end up sitting next to somebody.
No, but you sat next to him.
Was it a booth?
No.
Yes.
Well, kind of. A semi-booth.
It was a booth. He sits down next to Larry on Valentine's Day. All right, go be gay with Richard. Yeah.
Well, can I tell you how superstitious Sal is?
All right.
You know, he likes that horse, Sal the turtle. He's all about that horse. So if that horse wins a couple more races, it might be eligible for the Kentucky Derby. This year is the 143rd running of the Kentucky Derby. 143, Sal feels like it's meant to be.
Right,
well, it would be interesting, Howard, if it's 143 Derby and Sal the Turtle's in it.
Yeah, but here, how about this? 143 was a fucking horror in your life.
Yes.
Your wife was texting another man.
I know.
143.
And I turned it into a positive.
Oh, you did?
Turned it into a positive. Oh, is that from the positive affirmation?
Yes.
I'm a turtle. Good for you. Take your negatives and turn them into positives.
Take these lemon and make lemonade.
Yeah.
I'm going to smash those tapes when I get home.
As they come to the top of the stretch, Tribeca still the one to catch. Cuts to corner off the turn. Sal the Turtle went a little bit wide. Tribeca grabbed the upper hand, turning for home. Remston swings to the far outside from third. Racing for the 8th pole. Tribeca trying to dig down. Sal the Turtle surging up alongside, and now Sal the Turtle's in front. Sal the Turtle opening up on Tribeca. Remsen on the outside, finishing with interest. 2 lengths to make up, 50 yards to go. Sal the Turtle sails under the wire to win it by 1.
He's doing great. The horse is doing really good, Howard.
Yeah, you have nothing to do with it other than they named Sal the Turtle.
Yeah. And by the way, thank you for that, because it all came through the show, and it's been a great experience.
Yes, Angela.
Beautiful horse.
Howard, you got to get this ding dong off the air. I mean, really, you're better.
Go watch it, twat. Get out of here. Ding dong. Shut up. Shut up.
She's right.
Shut up. You are the negative force in this world that makes. You are the reason why there's so much hate.
Get out.
No, you get out. It's my show.
Get out.
Said it's my show.
Where's
you
my
get
bat?
out.
Come
Get
on.
him out of here.
There he is. Sal the
Shut
Turtle.
up. Shut your mouth.
Wow. It's working, those positive affirmations.
It's funny how that all goes out the window. Like that Sal is like trying to better himself.
The older you get, the dumber you get.
Right. Okay.
You're dead?
We know you're not dead.
Sal wanted to see if you'd go along with his crime plan.
See how much I love you?
You know what, Tan Mom?
I would die for all of you.
Tan Mom, can we play
Petunia.
Tan Mom, I would like to play the tape of you and Sal plotting your scam. May I?
Okay.
All right, let's listen in, Tan Mom. This is Sal asking Tan Mom to fake her own death. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Patricia, it's Sal.
I'm sorry. I just got home and he's a dirtbag.
Well, listen, I have some great news for you. I don't know if you heard the show last week, but we had a death pool game going.
Oh, no, Shirley called me.
Oh, he told you?
Yeah, and you chose me to die first, and I said no.
Yeah, but I don't want you to really die. The death pool is $1,200, and I'm broke, so I have a plan for us.
Why, what's wrong?
It's too long to explain, but here's the deal. I don't have any money, and I thought if you fake your death, you and I can split the money on the side.
But do I have, what's the word, reincarnation? Or am I just dead forever?
That's the thing. You're not going to be dead forever. You're going to call in as your twin sister, Petunia, with a Polish accent.
All right, I'll be a flower.
All right, you are. You're a flower to me. Let's just rehearse this real quick. Tam, it's Howard. What's going on?
This is Petunia. Patricia, sister. She passed away. Everybody's heartbroken. But it's going to be a great honor to come and let me speak about Patricia.
I understand. Now, can you say something in Patricia's honor in Polish?
Nastaroja.
Do I keep going in Polish?
I'm too upset right now.
Just wing it, Patricia. Howard doesn't understand Polish anyway. Just make up a bunch of words.
Bear with me a minute. The first diapromonite was paz. And little skip the middles and in blue.
That's perfect, honey.
Am I dead or am I coming on the show next week?
You're coming on as Petunia, because if I collect the money on your death and they find out you're alive, I'll get fired.
But when I go on the show next week, everyone knows what it looks like.
Yeah, but you're her twin sister.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
All right, honey?
Yeah, rough morning. When am I officially dead?
When you call in as Petunia.
Okay.
All right, love you, honey.
I love you guys.
All right, bye.
That's like the tan Bonnie and Clyde. It's time for Gary to put up or shut up. Let's play Pick the Pouch.
It's time for Gary to pick the pouch.
Gary, I'm laughing because you are dressed like Sherlock Holmes.
I am.
What is that, a magnifier?
It is, just in case I need to get a good look.
Oh,
all
boy.
right. Well, Robin.
At that piece of chewed gum.
You can now turn around. All the guys are safely tucked behind the screen.
Very good.
All right, gentlemen, if you don't mind, Inspector Chompers is ready.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's got his thinking cap on and his magnifier. I'm going to ask you guys to put your cocks through the little window there now. There they are. Whoa. Okay.
All right. Oh, my goodness.
All right, we're going to start with number one.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's not even in the same zip code as Sal.
It's way too large.
I mean, that thing's ridiculous.
Right?
So Sal couldn't even. Okay, let's go to number two.
Right.
A little bit shorter.
Right.
Could be Sal's, but it doesn't have that weird thing I was talking about at the end, the chewed gum thing, or the darkness.
Right.
Number three. It's like
number three, yes.
It's like Where's Waldo's wearing a fucking Dayglow shirt. I mean, that is so Sal's cock.
Right.
That's that weird thing I was talking about. There you go, the darkness.
That's right. There's the darkness.
The last number four looks like a guy's finger. It
Right.
just looks like a finger.
You're not sure that's a cock.
And I would say number four.
So, Gary, we're making history here, as I said. Are you locking in on number three?
I am locking in on number three.
Robin, I assume
Number
the same.
three.
And I'm going to make my guess, too. Number one is a doorknob, like a door knocker, like you would actually like bang on a door with it. And the police would use it to
Sal
break down.
could never handle that.
No, that's a guy with a big cock. Number two, again, doesn't. I mean, number three is so.
From high atop the Howard Stern building in Midtown Manhattan, no more bullshit. This is a Howard 100 News Brief.
I'm Mike Hambrick. They say that necessity is the mother of invention. Well, that certainly is the case with the Squatty Potty. It's Howard 100 News. You need to know.
Everyone just wants to have the good dump, right?
38-year-old Bobby Edwards is the creator of Squatty Potty, the stool, no pun intended, that Howard Stern mentioned this week that helps you poop better.
We all know that feeling of when there's a little bit left behind, and it kind of can be with you all day. And with the Squatty Potty, your elimination is just a lot more complete.
Bobby, who's an entrepreneur, designed the Squatty Potty when his mom was having difficulty going to the bathroom. He read that squatting helps you poop.
I had heard of the squatting concept, but she's 65 and she couldn't very well squat on her toilet. So I tried to mimic it with a stool, and it worked really well.
He says it gets your butt in the correct angle to make a number two.
Yeah, it's the anorectal angle. So that's the angle of the colon that holds everything in. When you squat, it opens up that angle, and it makes things come out easier.
Robin Quivers even mentioned she used the Squatty Potty when she was recovering from cancer surgery. Now, if you're a Stern fan, then you know Howard Stern makes a big deal about going to the bathroom. Bobby says he's used to that.
Talk about poop all day. It's pretty much run-of-the-mill stuff for me now.
Lisa G., Howard 100 News.
Mothers and daughters, listen up. If you and your mom or daughter are both hot and both willing to appear in the nude live on the Howard Stern Show, you could have a shot at a $5,000 cash prize in the hottest nude mother and daughter contest. Sponsored by SiriusXM. No purchase necessary. Must be at least 21 and a resident of the U.S. or Puerto Rico to enter. Entry is by email only and must be received by noon Eastern Time on October 31st. For official rules and complete details, visit SiriusXM.com/Howard.
happily taking backhanded compliments from the king of all media.
I'm not choked up with the news department either, but they're doing their job.
This is Howard 100 News.
Howard 100 News wants to know, what is the real discord fueling the feud between Whackpacker Marianne from Brooklyn and Stern Show producer Sal Governelli? We sent John Lieberman to investigate.
Well, he's nuts. He's off his rocker.
Marianne from Brooklyn, usually a lover of all things Stern Show, outraged at Stern Show writer Sal Governelli's on-air comments this week about personal enlightenment.
I was in the car that day listening to the replay of the wrap-up show, picking up my 21-year-old daughter, and like I said, as soon as she walked in the car, I turned it off. I would rather hear penis jokes and fart jokes than hear that stupidity that God is paying back people that are either handicapped or have different kinds of abnormalities. He's off his rocker. I mean, why wouldn't his wife or somebody stifle him? It's embarrassing. You mean Eric the Midget did something in a prior life and this is a punishment? How can he say that and put his head on a pillow at night?
Sal quickly striking back, truly believing in his beliefs.
How can you be mad at somebody who is simply looking to be more enlightened and to, to find the good in people and to help people? That's what it comes down to. That's all that I'm saying. All that I'm saying is that I don't have the answers, but there's so much shit in this world. There's so much sadness. There's so much torment. What if we can at least look at these negative aspects and see something good in them?
Sal, not enlightened enough, however, to forego comments about why he believes Marianne is really upset.
Marianne calls me at least once a month, put me on a prank call, put me in a song parody. We tried a few things with her. She's a great caller. She's a great fan. She's a great lady. But I think she just has resentment against me because I really don't incorporate her into other bits because 90% of the time it doesn't work.
John Lieberman, Howard 100 News.
Another Howard 100 News brief at the top of the hour, or as close as we can get.
So ridiculous to argue politics with anyone because I'd say 99% of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So Sal went up to Harlem yesterday and he questioned black people about who they were voting for. And they all said Obama pretty much. They found one guy who said McCain. But they all said in Harlem Obama. And then he'd list all of McCain's policies but attribute them to Obama. And they were for every one of McCain's policies. It's the funniest fucking thing you'll ever hear. So as long as we're talking about politics,
oh my goodness,
I wasn't going to do this at this point in the show, but okay, here we go. Here's Sal in Harlem.
Some people speculate that blacks are voting for Obama strictly because he's black and not because of his policies. So we took McCain's policies and pretended they were Obama's. This is what they had to say. For the election, Obama or McCain? I like Obama. Now, what don't you like about McCain? McCain seems to not really know what he's doing right now. Are you more for Obama's policy because he's pro-life or because he thinks our troops should stay in Iraq and finish this war? I think because our troops should stay in Iraq and finish this war. I'm really for him with that. Definitely. Okay. Now, how about as far as him being pro-life? Do you support Obama in that case? Yeah, I do. I support him in that case. And if he wins, would you have any problem with Sarah Palin being vice president? No, I wouldn't. Not at all. Not so you think he made the right choice in that? I definitely do. Thank you very much, sir. Have a great day.
That's really quite brilliant.
That's crazy.
Well, let's go to person number 2.
Are you for Obama or McCain? Obama. Okay, and why not McCain? Well, I just don't agree with some of his, policies, no. Now, Obama says that he's anti-stem cell research. How do you feel about that? I believe I wouldn't do that either. I'm anti-stem cell, yeah. You are anti-stem cell research. Now, if Obama wins, do you mind Sarah Palin being vice president? No, I don't. No.
Okay.
What are people drinking over there?
I don't know. Here is Sal in Harlem again.
In this election, Obama or McCain? Obama. Now, why not McCain? What don't you like about him?
He sort of doesn't sound like he has enough, like he's not uneducated, because when he had the, they had the both of the presidents speaking. He didn't sound like he knew what he was talking about too much, whereas Obama had facts and information when he was speaking.
Good point. Let me ask you this. Do you support Obama more because he's pro-life or because he says our troops should stay in Iraq and finish the war?
I guess both.
Now, if Obama wins, do you have any problem with Sarah Palin being his vice president?
No.
No? You think she'll do a good job?
I think she'll do a good job.
Are you glad he elected her to be the VP if he wins?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, there you go.
Are you glad he elected her?
I don't know who's worse, the person questioning or Earth being offered an opportunity to get your job.
Oh, yeah, that shows how everyone the respect.
Yeah, they really care about you. You know, sometimes people go, I'm not auditioning, I'm in support of Gilbert. Gilbert, leave us with one final Japanese victims joke, if you will. You're so well known for that. But better yet, don't leave it with
Yeah,
us.
okay.
You're going to do the View, huh?
Oh, yeah.
They're just going to yell at you, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know about that. Well, Joy will be...
Joy will defend you as a comedian.
Yes, yes.
And then Elizabeth
I
House
think
will
he's
just beat you up.
disgusting. I think he's disgusting. I don't agree with what he did, but he is a comedian. I will defend that.
Yeah, that way you could be on both sides of the fence at once.
And Barbara will just take on that queenish tone. So Gilbert.
She probably won't even be there.
And then even comics who defended me, I saw them doing that where,
Yeah.
well, I thought it was disgusting and wrong, but he does have a right.
Right,
and
yeah,
I thought,
okay,
you know,
great.
come on. You know.
How about he's a comedian? Who gives a fuck?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
funny. It's jokes. He's trying to make it be humorous. Good luck. Good luck with the book, Gilbert.
Oh, thank
Gilbert.
Yes.
Rubber balls and liquor.
Yes.
It's really a story of triumph when you think about it.
Yes. It's a story. It was the original Rubber Balls and Liquor was written by John Steinbeck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you consider any alternate titles?
Yeah, it was originally going to be called Gag Reflex. And so I thought that's good because it's a blowjob joke. That sounds... But I thought Rubber Balls and Liquor was even more disgusting and immature.
Really encompassed the full Gilbert Gottfried story.
Is there any way they could order out for cupcakes while I'm here?
Yeah, you picked the wrong day. You're one day early.
Just so I could spit in them or put my dick in them or something.
Do you want to come back tomorrow just to do that?
Yeah, I might.
You should get your own cupcake at
Yes.
Called I Stuck It in the Cupcake.
Yes.
Now, Gilbert, you highlight a particular story of an encounter you had while in the hospital with Howard.
Yes. He reads the whole thing, it's funny. It's like you know these. I've been on Howard like more times than Howard has, I think, and yet in the book I have a mention for like about half a page or something.
And it's not the most complimentary story
Yes.
you tell. You make them.
Well, that's the way I talk. Yes.
He was a bastard of a friend that
Oh,
didn't
yes.
really do in the hospital. Well, I hope many show up at your signing, and best of luck.
Yes, thank you.
I hope this story of triumph continues.
Yes, and I got a free bottle of water out of it.
Till the next time when you can spit in some cupcakes.
Okay, Wheels, go ahead.
I was going to say Gilbert was awesome yesterday listening to the playback. You were laughing like almost crying laughing.
Well, when Gilbert does that impression of Groucho, the old Groucho, which is the one I'm interested in.
The best.
Because I remember that as a kid watching Groucho on like Dick Cavett show, and he was fucking 900 years old, and he would just go into these long stories, and Dick Cavett was hanging on every word, and meanwhile they were long, boring stories.
Well, all of them used to do that. You know, even Johnny Carson and Merv Griffin,
Right.
They so respected him that
would let him bore
wouldn't
everyone.
interrupt him.
Yeah. I know. I've had that experience on the radio where there's someone who's of great importance comes in, and then they don't really say anything. But
Or their timing's gone, and
Right.
the stories don't have an ending.
And the fact that Gilbert does an impression of that is just the funniest thing to me. I mean, all of his impressions are funny. But I got a weird thing going on with Gilbert, and I don't know really. I'm going to have to deal with it.
What's the weird thing?
The weird thing is that the last time Gilbert was here, when Gilbert leaves and when any guest leaves, there's always cameras on. We have Howard TV, Howard 100 News. They go out there and they ask a few questions. And I guess the last time Gilbert was on, the last time before this, he went out in the hall and he started spitting on all the cupcakes that we eat here.
Yes.
And it was really disgusting because, first of all, we get these beautiful cupcakes, and, you know, the staff really looks forward to them. So he would, like, spit on, and it was really gross. I didn't think it was particularly funny, but okay.
He was trying to do some shtick for the camera.
Right, I got that. Well, this time he leaves. He walks out, and I don't want to see the clip, guys, because I'll throw up.
What did he do?
He walked out, and he just started spitting all over the walls and spitting everywhere.
For all time's sake.
Oh, no.
Clean that up.
Clean that up, please.
And, you know, my first reaction is he must really be angry with me. I mean, not on any conscious level, but he must just be really depressed and angry because when it's like spitting on me, you know, it's completely disrespectful. I know he'd probably say I was just trying to be funny, but you're kind of, it feels like a disrespect to me.
You got to throw him out, Howard. That is.
Is he spitting at the Tonight Show?
No.
Is he spitting at Letterman?
No, and he didn't spit at The View the other day either.
Right, okay.
Howard, it was so disgusting.
What was he doing exactly?
I didn't see it, but I just saw when it was done. There was one right where we keep the cupcakes, where we put all the food out. There was a big one there, and there was a big one on the wall, and then there was a big one on the ground.
Oh.
And it was one of those ones, I'm not, I don't want to gross you up, but like it had color. You know what I mean? So like you couldn't miss it.
So he's hawking loogies.
Yeah, and it was just, it was, and
I'm going to throw up.
And when I found out about it, like Tim was livid.
Well, Tim's right. I mean, you know, because Tim told me they had to call a special cleaning crew in to clean it. And
you don't just wipe that up.
Yeah, somebody had to clean that shit.
Tim
and
goes,
you know
this
what?
is bullshit.
And you want to talk about being elitist? That's horseshit. I mean, a woman has to come in and get on her hands and knees with gloves and clean that.
Yeah, with special chemicals.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel some compassion for the person who's going to have to clean up your mess. I mean, how do you think you get rid of that shit? And, you know, to me, I have compassion for that person. That's not an easy way to make a living.
Yeah, but there's absolutely no reason for that. That's not funny.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't get the joke at all. I didn't.
Right.
I mean, I knew that he thought it was weird that, like when he spit in the cupcakes, I didn't think that was funny.
I didn't either, but okay, it happened once. I think he was trying to go for something.
And
it didn't work.
I mean, the spit bit he should drop.
And at least the cupcakes are something in a box you can take and throw in the garbage. This was really like on our stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Is that why he hasn't been in a long time?
Why not just come in and shit on the floor?
Hey,
maybe he's planning to.
I don't think he wants to show his dick. But, yeah, it was pretty gross. And
well, that's sad.
yeah, so I think...
He's another one of those guys. You know, you're having that discussion with him yesterday about his inability to capitalize on his own talents.
Right.
And he says, well, nobody's ever said I wasn't self-destructive. And there you go.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed.
All right. Thanks, Wheels. Can dig up a couple of these ones that are coming in about you and Ronnie, the limo driver.
Ronnie inspiring songs.
Yeah, well, you know, I heard him on the wrap-up show, and he gets defensive. It's weird. It's weird, that whole wrap-up show thing, because he gets defensive and people aren't even goofing on him. I don't know what's going on with him.
Dude.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, here it is.
You don't have to say it to her all the time. Howard is asking, are you in love with her? And either you are or you aren't.
Well, I said it a few times, so what does that mean? Do I have to keep repeating it? It's not like I'm not...
But John, are you in love with your wife?
Absolutely.
Right. That's the answer.
Yeah. Okay.
So are you in love with Steph?
I like her a lot.
See, when you say that, Ronnie, it sounds to me like you're keeping your options open.
No, I'm not keeping... no. Right, I'm with her right now, okay? Not with her. I always question her. See, I have this hang-up, and I talk to my shrink about this, okay? I have this hang-up. Why is she with me?
And what does she say?
Because she loves me.
He goes, I question whether she loves me, because I think sometimes he thinks he's me. You know how people always rap about, like, because am I famous, that's why Beth's with me? But he's nobody. You know what I mean? Like, he goes, I question why she's with me.
Yeah, there are a lot of women who've wanted to be with Ronnie for...
If anybody really, to get something. If he doesn't even understand the question. If he really listened to the question, You question why she wants to be. If any woman ever really loves someone, it's you. You're not famous. You're not a rich man.
But I still have that hang up because I saw shit that my father went through, okay?
What'd your father go through?
Not you, my father.
No,
It's
me.
not you, dude.
It's me.
No, my father.
No.
Not you.
It's not
and
your
you,
father.
Don't you say a word to me, okay?
Who?
Because you, whenever something is going on, you know how to attack me.
Robin?
And I say whatever or whatever it is.
He's crazy.
And you contradict me, whatever I say. You know what? You, when you're under the gun from him, all you do is sit there and laugh. You can't answer either. You got no comeback to him either. So don't even go there with me with anything.
What has this got to do with me and you?
Because I was listening to this
He's
shit.
nuts.
Because I was listening to
You're
this
nuts.
shit I am
You're fucking nuts. You really are.
I am fucking nuts.
I was laughing.
Everybody fucking here is out of their fucking minds.
You're nuts.
Everybody who works here is nuts.
Ronnie,
In their
the
own
guy
fucking
asked
way,
you
okay?
a question. Why can't you say you love Stephanie?
And it's
then
got
you
nothing
go,
to do
I
with you.
question
Why
whether-
do I think it's? Why right away you think it's you?
Because you just gave it.
I said shit with
you
my
wanted, you want
father,
the
not
answer?
with
It's
you.
not your father.
Yes, it is.
Your father was famous?
No, I'm not famous.
The woman your father was with wasn't after his money. He had no fucking money.
How do you know?
Because I know. Where's his money? He had nothing. I know
Yeah,
where
shit.
he lived. He had
Yeah,
shit.
but still.
You're comparing yourself to me.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You question whether she loves you? What do you have? She's not a gold digger.
What is she with you for then?
Yeah.
Don't talk.
Don't talk.
I'm
She
talking.
asked a good
No, you
question.
can talk.
Ask
All right,
him the
I'll
question.
talk.
You
I'll ask the same
don't
question.
talk.
Ronnie, you question why your girlfriend is with you.
That's just my hang up, okay? I'm sorry.
What
It's
do you
not got
have
nothing to
that
do
she's
with
after?
you.
You got nothing.
What is she with you for if it's not because she
You're not a
loves you?
millionaire. You're not famous. She's not. What is she after? You're comparing yourself to me.
No, I'm
That's
not.
what people
Why do
say
you-
about me. They go, "Oh, Beth's with him because he's famous and he's rich."
Please, I'm
what
not-
are you? Well, why do you mean you question why Stephanie's with you? You're a fucking limo driver.
Yeah, okay.
She loves you.
How
clearly.
do you know? How do you know she really loves me?
She
How do
loves
know?
you because you're.
Does she want you
she's
for
not
that?
after anything.
It's fucking words. That's all it is.
What is
How
she
do
after
you know?
money?
Does
no,
she want
I don't
you
know
for your
what she.
car?
I don't know.
What
If
does
she,
What do you think
I
she's
don't know
after?
if she's after anything.
What,
It's just
in your
something
mind,
in my head.
okay, so in your mind, what do you think she could
It's
be
not
after?
you. Right away, you
what is
think
she
it's
after?
you.
The
Nobody,
30
everything
grand?
doesn't surround around you with me. Okay.
What does she think you're after? Your apartment?
Those Playboy mud flaps? What
Stop
is
it now.
That big tire in your basement?
Yeah.
What do you think she'd be after?
Why do you think it's you though? And it's not you.
You're not listening again. This is why you're funny. You don't even know why you're funny.
I'm not funny.
I'm
not funny.
You say she's after you for something. That's your fear.
I don't.
What is it she could be after? You're comparing yourself to me. Yeah, in
No,
my
I'm
case,
not.
someone could be after something. What's she
I'm
after?
not comparing
Your 15
myself to
bottles
you.
of Mambo? What is she after?
I'm not comparing myself
Yes,
to
you
you.
are.
I am not.
It's got nothing to do with your father.
What has
Oh,
she
stop it.
gained?
How
What
does
has she
how does
gained?
tell me this?
The
that
woman
it's
who
not-
was with your father wasn't after anything.
Yes, she was.
Okay, what was she after?
Whatever money he did have,
Money.
she was
He had
after.
3 cents, that guy.
Boy,
Whatever.
was she,
Yeah, she's a real
who was
gold
she?
digger.
She was digging her way right to the middle.
I discussed this with Stephanie. She knows all about it, okay?
I'm not
it's
even
not about
criticizing
you.
Of course it is.
Oh, God, why is everything
Why can't
about
you see
you?
it? Because you're putting yourself in my position.
No, I'm not.
What? What is she after?
Dude,
She could date a police officer and have the same
I'm
thing.
telling you how I feel.
She could date a
that
pizza
it's not
delivery
about
guy.
you. It's about what I saw my own man go through, and you keep telling me it's about you.
Stick with me, and I'll show you every Rick's Cabaret.
What has she gotten out of this?
What, in other words, what could she get out of being with you?
I don't know.
Money?
What has she been grasping at so far that you still have this feeling?
She's a young, pretty girl. She could get a lot of richer guys
I
than
know
you.
she
You're not
could.
exactly the richest guy on the planet.
Is
No.
she pushing you to do something?
No, absolutely not.
Then it
So then-
doesn't seem like she wants
So then why
anything.
would you make this statement that
Because
that's
it's just something in my head, Howard. That's
but
all
that's,
it is.
But that's not your situation. Of course she loves you. You're a limo driver. You're not David Arquette.
I didn't say I was.
You're not Mel
I didn't
Gibson.
say that. Did
You're
I
not-
say that?
In other words, you're a working man. You're a hard-working man.
Yeah. Okay.
What is she going to get out
I
of being
don't
with you?
know. I don't
What's
know.
she gonna
It's
inherit?
just something in my head. Okay.
And she's hanging out so long to get it.
He
Boy.
goes, I always question whether she really loves me. I think he thinks he's famous like me.
Are
That's the
you
only thing I can
crazy?
think. Right, Robin?
Well, I'm trying to think. Does she go around
God.
telling
Why-
everybody she's Ronnie's girlfriend?
You know who I go out with?
Doors open.
Yeah, she goes, you know who I go out with? Ronnie the limo driver. You know what everyone's reaction is? So you're after his fame and wealth.
Right. Oh, come on in. Let's close down the store because you're here.
Yeah, Pretty Woman. Let's go on a Pretty Woman shopping spree. You got all that Ronnie money.
Oh my God, Jesus! I can't. You ask me a question and I answer it, and it's not good enough for you.
I don't know if you know this, but my boyfriend is verified on Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah.
With 74,000 followers. Wow.
I'm after his verification.
You know, he's
Stop
verified.
it, man. You know why?
You don't even hear the question.
Yeah, but I'm
I
trying
hear you on
to,
the wrap-up
I'm
show.
trying to answer you.
But it's a ridiculous answer. You're
that's
afraid
my answer. It's not you.
So
It's got
why is
nothing
she
to
with
do
you
with
if
you.
she doesn't love you?
Call her and
What is
ask her.
she
How many
after?
times have I said to her?
Secretly rich?
I mean, maybe I am. Maybe I am.
I know
you
he's
don't know
not.
what I have. No, you don't know what I have.
I do know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Believe me, I know.
No.
I've seen everything.
Is he like a really wealthy guy who just decided, I'm going to drive a limo?
I'm going to drive a limo,
cars?
yes.
You know what? I didn't want to tell you this.
Good.
Ronnie's worth $7 billion.
Right, exactly.
That's why.
Right.
He's worried.
Actually, I own all 23 Rick's clubs.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Now
Well, you act like you do.
Understand.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
He probably told her that.
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody anything of the sort. Now stop it.
All right.
I don't know why you don't get it through your head. It's just something that I have a feeling about. I'm sorry. God. And all you do is laugh.
I got
it. Okay?
Well,
when you're under the gun,
Look,
all you do is laugh.
Ronnie, your perception is so off that it's just...
Yeah,
it's funny.
I'm always wrong. I am always wrong.
Your
I know.
perceptions are so out the
I know.
Yeah,
out the
you're just
window.
off.
I'm fucking crazy.
I can't even
I'm
explain.
telling you, I'm fucking nuts.
All right, goodbye. You're annoying. You got to hear him on the wrap-up show.
Oh, my
It's the
goodness.
greatest.
I can't believe that he believes somebody's after him for... I still can't figure out what the for is.
And
for what?
He saw his father go through that. No, he didn't.
Father didn't go through anything.
His father was a divorced man. He had a girlfriend. She was devoted to him, even when he was ill. I remember. Listen, I know Ronnie all these years.
Well, that woman was hanging out, waiting until the bitter end.
And you should see what she got.
To get what was there.
I think she inherited a $14,000 condo after putting in 30 years with him.
Oh, okay.
Own place.
But
It's
is
not
it,
like she's
whatever
poor,
whatever your doubts are, what would they be?
Wait, you got to hear this one.
Are you guys in a monogamous relationship?
Yeah, according to her, we are.
Do you feel like you're free to see other women?
No.
Okay, so
I'm not seeing anybody else now.
If you had sex with another woman, would you tell her?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm going to tell her. No, I'm not going to tell her.
Would that be considered cheating?
Yeah.
Okay, so
but I'm not. I didn't.
No, that's fine. That's what I'm just curious, like what you guys' boundaries are.
We don't have any boundaries.
Well, you have that boundary.
Wait, so you're both free to basically do what you want to do.
No.
He goes, he's crazy.
We don't have any boundaries, but I can't do this and I can't do that.
He's funny, man. He's the best on the show. Better than anyone.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. Not in that case, no.
In what case are you?
I don't.
Well, does that go
Leave
both?
me alone already.
Does that go
Okay.
both ways? Like, if you can sort of do your thing, can she do her thing? Are you comfortable with that?
No, she goes and hangs out, and she goes out with her friends. I don't know what she does.
Can I take her out?
No. You would be the last person.
And by the way, that has to do no matter how old she is.
Yeah.
Why did you call Howard out on
her mom?
On the age thing? You feel like he's picking on your age?
He always picks on my age, and you can't say he doesn't. He says he doesn't, but he does. He brings it up a lot.
You're the oldest guy on the show, so I
Okay,
think you brush your
fine.
balls about that.
Whatever. Yeah, but
Ronnie,
still.
again, like in junior high school, if you poke somebody and you see it bothers them, then you just keep poking.
I understand, but when I do it back to him, he doesn't like it.
Because it's his
he's
show.
old also. Okay,
but not as old as you.
No, but
I don't
he's
point
still,
that out to you.
But he's still old, and he doesn't want to be old either. You think I enjoy being old? No, I'm just living my life, whatever's left of it.
I think you're enjoying yourself very much.
I am. I had a great time in Florida. We had an awesome time.
Now,
it was one of the best vacations I've had in a long time.
When marriage came up, you said
that's definitely out.
But
I can tell you right here,
Hefner. He's Hugh Hefner.
No, he's still being you
Yeah,
from
I know.
a few years ago.
Right, I know. He's still into that.
He's holding that prize of the Mund name.
Right.
No questions asked. That's out.
But the moving in thing is on the table.
It's a possibility. We've talked about it.
You've been together 4 years.
Yeah.
When you say marriage is out, like, because I know a lot of people say it, but they still say, okay, I want to become a couple and I want to live together and I want the idea to be everything the same as marriage, just not officially married. Is that what you mean?
listen, if she moves in, that's it. There's no other relationship. There's nothing. There's not going to be engagements. There's not going to be put a ring on her finger for 10 years. There's not going to be any kind of diamond ring.
But if she does move in, the idea might be this is our lifelong partners.
As long as it might last.
Do you think at one point she may want that stuff, though, Ronnie?
What?
A ring?
She says no. And I told her it will be no. And if she insists, that it's going to be no, that she wants it eventually, then it's done.
Wow. She's a saint. I told her no.
Look at him.
But those guys on Bubba said he looks like that mustache is from a Civil War reenactment. Excuse me.
I guess he's Ron Perlman.
Not Ron
Munn.
Right. Worried. She's worried she's after him for something.
Oh, boy.
What could she be after? She's with him. She's working 3 jobs, this girl. I know her.
Yeah.
She works her ass off. And he's worried that she doesn't love him.
I don't think the Munn name opens even his door. He has to open
He's
it
worried.
himself.
I think he thinks he's famous and rich or something. He's living some sort of delusion.
Something he's got, and she's going to get it.
She's going to get it.
What are you talking about?
Why don't you just change your name to Howard?
She goes, what?
Howard. 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 Howard.
Why? Are you crazy? You're crazy.
Okay.
Listen, she has her own thing. She does her own thing. She
wants the Munn name.
She works 2 jobs.
I know. Believe me, I know. She's a hard-working girl. She ain't getting anything out of being with you, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like a gold digger from the description.
Right. And she's not.
I can see that.
I think she just wants to be. I think she just wants to be a Munn. Because
I don't get you, man. I really don't. I don't.
I know you don't.
It's really something that's in my fucking head. I'm sorry. It's got nothing to do with you.
Sure. I understand.
I told you about this a long time ago.
Yeah. You did? I forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't tell me we didn't talk about this.
All right.
We did.
Okay.
And you agreed with him?
Years
You were in
ago.
the car.
Years ago.
He's driving. I don't want to crash. He'll drive me into a lake, and I can't get out.
You know what? He's so full of shit because we talk about stuff all the time, and he'll deny it from now until next year, okay?
I'm not denying anything. Who knows what you say?
Yeah, okay. All right.
She's still trying to make it out.
She ain't a gold digger. She's a dirt digger. Because believe me, you got nothing. I don't know what you're worried about. You don't have some mass fortune that she's after.
It's got nothing to do with that.
So why do you think she'd be with you if she didn't love you? What
don't
is she in?
know.
What do you think she's looking for?
Yeah, she's not.
It can't be the Munn name. The Munn name closes doors. It doesn't open doors.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't
People
know.
hear Munn, they close the door.
Where in the world is he such a big shot?
I don't. Maybe Rick's Cabaret.
I didn't say I was a big shot. When did I say
At
I
Rick's
was a big
Cabaret,
shot?
he walks.
No, I didn't say. When did I say I was a big shot?
Bragging that this is her man.
My man is
Ricky.
Listen, I don't love him.
Man.
I don't love him, but when he dies, I'm going to inherit his empire.
Right. I mean, she's sitting there. She's talking about what a wonderful lover you are. She really enjoys being
I understand
with you.
that. She's a great kid. She's a great girl, man.
Kid.
That's what's cool about it.
You're a good kid.
Hey, kid, get over here.
One day you play your cards right, you'll inherit my nothing.
Right. You'll inherit this.
My NASCAR memorabilia.
You just don't get it. Sorry.
What don't I get?
Nothing.
What
we
am I missing?
can't get it.
I'm leaving.
What is she after?
I didn't say she was after anything.
You said you don't think she loves you.
I said I didn't. I said
you question
I
it.
question it.
Right. So what would she be after?
When will you get an answer?
I didn't say she was after
in
anything.
your fantasies, why is she there? Since she
I don't
doesn't love you.
know. That's what I'm trying to figure out in my
know
head.
What you think you've got that somebody's going to give up their entire life for?
I didn't say that.
All right.
I didn't say that.
I really got to know what.
Yeah,
what
I'm
you think
depressed now.
They're after.
Maybe I should go take some.
How
what is
many
that?
other women
Let me
are
drink
after?
some of that shit. What did you drink? I want to know.
How many
I
other
want to drink
women
some.
Are after Ronnie?
Nobody.
Maybe did you copyright that phrase topless? To
No,
your
I did
PLD?
not. No, I
so
didn't.
she can't even inherit
no,
that.
I didn't.
Because dating Ronnie is her stepping stone to nowhere.
Topless.
To topless.
Who said she was is a stepping stone
That's
for
what
anything?
I'm saying.
This is what you're saying that this is what's going on.
It's got
That
nothing
she
to
must
do
be
with that.
into you because of where she can get or
No,
what
I
she
never
can get.
said that. I never said that. Did I ever say that?
Yes, you said I have a question of why she's with me.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't say that she's into it for getting money or whatever.
Well, what would she be into
I don't
it for?
know.
What could she be into it for?
Oh my God,
Well,
man.
he does have a lot of Twitter followers.
Yeah, she's going to inherit all of them.
Do you go everywhere and people go, "Hey, there's Ronnie, the limo driver"? I mean, maybe that's what she's
it happens. It happens. It does happen when we're out.
Right. So maybe that's what she's after.
Yeah,
in your
exactly.
mind. Right. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. She wants to be.
Yeah.
No, you're
it's
so
not.
famous.
I didn't say that. I never
Then what
said
could
that.
it be? How could you?
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
You
That's
got
it.
nothing.
So why would she be after? All right. Listen.
We all agree on that.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Before
you.
Nancy calls in and says she's sick of hearing me, let me go. You know the girl from yesterday.
All right.
All right. She doesn't like it. I'm
you know,
leaving.
Ronnie has like over 600 Skull T-shirts. Maybe that's what she's after.
Ah.
Yeah.
God, Lord.
This is what I deal with all day. He drives me around. He's going to lock up the windows and drive me into a lake. and you're going to be laughing.
Ron.
Yo.
Do you regret saying stuff like that that's in your head because when it comes back like on the next day after the wrap-up show and you're forced to defend what you...
No!
But when Howard breaks it down logistically, there's no reason to doubt her love or to...
Say that again?
When Howard breaks it down logically,
Listen,
you know,
dude,
it's like...
dude, listen to me, okay? You're not in my head. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on in my life. What's gone on years before, okay? You don't know. So you can't even ask me that question.
But I'm saying when Howard breaks it down...
I don't care what Howard. He's not my fucking psychiatrist. He thinks he is, but he's not. He thinks everything revolves around him. It doesn't. Other people have lives. They have shit. They have problems. Their own problems, not his. Okay?
Why when Robin laughs does it drive you so nuts? I mean, everyone laughs on the show. Everyone laughs at each other.
Fucking bald motherfucker is here now.
Having a bad day, buddy?
No! No, man, it just makes my Twitter followers go up.
Oh, all right.
You know?
It's all
Just keep hammer, man, hammer. Go ahead.
It's all part of your master plan?
Yeah, my master plan. This is my master plan. Sal, please come with me. Oh, you can't come and bother him.
No, Ron, everyone busts balls. Everyone laughs at one another. Why would
Everybody's fucking nuts here. Don't you understand that?
Well, why does Robin's cackle really? It just goes right through you.
Because she sits there and knifes people left and right, through the back, through the neck, and then when she's getting on the fucking, she's on the fire, all she does is sit there and laugh. She's got no answers. Listen to what went on this morning. Listen to the playback. All she did was laugh through the whole thing. She can't answer either.
Isn't part of
Isn't
part of her job though to fan the flames, to keep things
Yeah,
kind of
fine.
going?
But she's as fucking crazy as everybody else around here, okay?
Are you included in that crazy?
Yeah, I'm fucking nuts.
All right. Just check it.
You getting married?
I'm not getting married. When did I say getting married?
That's what these guys are saying. You told someone.
Get the fuck out of here.
When's the big date? This is awesome news. What's going
bullshit.
on?
Don't put fuck. You know, Doug, you're a fucking asshole. Get the fuck out of here. Don't put words in that goddamn idiot's mouth because he'll make a whole story of it.
Who's going to Ronnie's wedding?
Gary, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome.
Thanks. Very cool. Oh, let's see what's going on here. Nice. An ass first thing in the morning. Hey, that's what you need. morning. Everybody needs to wake up to that.
Exactly what you wanted to see on your Stern Show debut.
Exactly what I knew I would see and wanted to see, yes.
Right this way. Right this way.
Cool. Wow, thank you.
So what's going on with you? You have a new book out?
I do. I have a new book out, and it's called Hell High Note. Wow, I'm really low in here. Hold on.
Yeah, Howard gets you right into bed.
Yeah, I just realized I was just in Howard's bed, I think. Yeah. I have a new book out, and I'm promoting it, and a new TV show coming out, Platinum Hit. Blah, 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 right?
Right. But more importantly, you're going to be meeting Howard for the first time on the air.
I am going to be meeting
How are you feeling about that?
I feel good.
Contract player means
Excited?
I am excited.
A little bit nerves at all?
7 years of your life.
Not really nervous because I think he's really funny.
Only.
And
that must have driven
I
because when you would get offered roles,
I'm kind of good at. I'm a good sport.
It's kind of a
People can poke fun at
beautiful
me.
thing too because you're guaranteed.
I'm also
work.
from New York, so
Exactly.
I think we're gonna get along.
You're interesting. You've worked with a bunch of
And I had to pay that.
very talented people. You're very talented yourself.
No.
You've been on American Idol.
Sex and the City?
No, I'm not multi.
You have a good,
I'm okay for the rest
some good
of my life.
conversation to be had.
I do. I think it's going to be. I don't know if he's spoken to people that have been on Idol. I don't know if people, Randy or any of these guys.
A while back, a long time ago, but a lot's changed since they've come in. I think that was like 5 or 6 years ago. So.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be. I'm interested to see what he asked me. I'm sure it's going to be funny and tough at times, but I'm up for the challenge. Didn't I see him coming in? Is that you?
That's me.
It's good.
I don't like it.
All right, then let's take it down.
Take it home.
Let's take it down. Forget this. I'm not going to look at this anymore. We're over that. Come here. We're going to put your head here.
My head there?
Yeah, just put your head right there. Good. Just stand here for the next 10 years. That's nice. That's much better.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you.
Let's see now. Let's really see if you look like this. Oh, he's way hotter.
Oh, thank you.
I'm kidding.
But he's better looking.
That one I actually like. That's a good one right there.
Okay.
I like that. All right, let's put this back.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
You don't want to take it home?
I don't know. Will you sign it for me?
Sure.
Where will I put it, though?
I don't know. That's up to you.
Ronnie working his charm on you already?
Yeah, he's giving me this.
That's wonderful.
So you don't mind if I take
I
this
don't.
home, right?
I actually would like you to take
All
it.
right, I got to leave you, though, because I'm married, but I'm going to take this home with me. Thank you so much. Really appreciate
There
it.
goes my picture.
No worries. What about this one? Why don't I take this one?
That's Jeff the drunk. You can have him as
Oh, I'm
well.
going to take him, too. Good.
Do
All right, thanks, guys. See you later. I'm thinking that the value is what? I don't know.
That'd be at least 6 figures.
Probably.
Yeah.
Couple mil.
The detail and the goatee
And also,
is
I'm
unbelievable.
going to go home and actually do my own kind of thing on it.
Your own interpretation?
Yeah, well, after I've spent some time with him, I'm going to figure out what color would go best, like, right across his mouth, and maybe put a little thing like a handkerchief there, because that may make him look a little slobber.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I should also give him a gold tooth.
That would look good.
I think that'd be hot.
Yeah.
Actually, let's work on that now. Don't you think I should?
Yeah, deface it a little bit.
Do you think I should do that?
Yeah.
You wouldn't mind, would you?
No, God. We have enough Ronnie around here. We don't need...
Ronnie! Can I give you a black tooth?
For sure.
Ronnie?
No, you don't want to ruin my picture.
Oh, Ronnie.
Go ahead.
why
No,
would
you can do
ruin
it.
your
You can do whatever you
picture?
want. I'm a big fan of yours, so you can do whatever you want.
Ronnie.
I thought you were great on Idols.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh, Ronnie. Ronnie, I'm really liking you now.
See? I know how to work it.
You do. I bet you everybody knows how to work it here, so that's...
Not really.
Really?
Not
like
really.
you, Ronnie?
I have the charm.
Does this guy have a zit on his nose?
Yeah, and he has one on his ass, too.
Oh, I don't want to know how
Just
you
so
know
you
that.
know.
I don't want to know how you know that.
Well,
That's okay.
okay.
I love that.
My wife just stopped by.
I know.
Hey, I'm glad you stopped by because I'm going to get Cara DiGuardia is here too.
Dio Guardi.
Cara DiGuardia is here, and I want to talk to her. But as long as my wife is here.
I
What-
smuggled a dog in.
The dog,
Can you believe it?
the dog you brought into this building from North Shore Animal League is the cutest dog I've ever, officially the cutest dog I've ever seen in my life. What is that dog?
This is Duncan. He's 10 weeks old. He's a Basset Hound mix. He's from one of our southern rescues. I just want to, I know you have Cara. I just want to say North Shore Animal League America in Port Washington, we have our huge Adopt-a-thon event this weekend. Over 700 dogs. And we'll be at the North Shore Animal League this
dog
weekend
isn't
on
adopted,
Saturday.
the one you're holding?
No.
I wish I had a TV show right now. If you saw this dog, you would adopt him.
Cute.
What's his name?
This is Duncan. Well, he can be whoever you want
I
it to
know.
be, but we named him Duncan.
What kind of dog is he?
A Basset Hound mix.
Oh, my
Muddigree.
God.
You know, we like to call them Muddigrees.
What
the
a
mixed breeds.
beautiful
And
dog.
he's so good. Are you kidding me?
Look at him.
It's like a baby. They didn't even know that it was a dog. They thought it was a stuffed animal sticking out of my bag.
In the building here because they don't let dogs
Yeah.
up. How old is he?
10 weeks.
10 weeks. Oh,
Neutered, completely ready to go. He'll be available this Saturday.
I
Yeah.
love him.
Yeah.
See, I don't know how you volunteer there because I see these dogs and they don't have homes. This dog breaks my heart.
Well, the beauty of North Shore Animal League is that every time I go, it's a new crop of dogs. So I know that these animals are being adopted. People come from all over. The only thing that breaks my heart are the adult dogs that are still there. And I just say, when you're there looking at these cute puppies, go to the adult dog area because they're already trained.
What is your name? Your name?
Beth Stern.
It is?
Yeah, I just got interviewed by Lisa G about that.
Oh, okay. Because I said to Robin this morning, I don't know your name. Because
I said, what is he going to do if he has the...
I really like...
I read a press release. Not a press release. I read a news article yesterday that said you have a new TV show.
Yeah, I don't know why they're press releasing right now. It's a pilot, but apparently TV Guide Network is really excited about it. And
it's called Gossip Cop.
Yeah, it's a website now, gossipcop.com, where they debunk celebrity rumors. So I think it's a really great message, and people can go to the site now, but now it's going to be a TV show.
But they say your name is Beth Ostrowski Stern. And then even last night when you were reading it to me, I said, I've given up trying to figure out if you're Beth Stern or Beth Ostrowski Stern.
What would you like me to be?
Me? I mean, my vote is Beth Stern.
Okay.
Because I played a clip this morning of some guy mangling your name, and it's like the guy. What did he call Beth Ostrowski?
Or Trotsky.
Is it really hard, Ostrowski?
Yeah, it's a hard name.
Why don't I legally change it and then
I thought you did.
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
So legally.
What's on your driver's license?
About the Ostrowski.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, why don't I legally change it, and then there will be no more questions.
Yeah, but you got to say to people, I want to be introduced as Beth Stern.
Absolutely. I will announce it now. Please introduce it.
Yeah, because
I'm going on Fox I was on Fox and Friends just now. Now I'm going on Good Day New York. I will tell them to introduce me as Beth Stern.
Thank you.
And LX this afternoon.
Yeah, I just want to know what your name, because people say, well, what is your name? I go, I don't know. Because I don't know my wife's name.
Well.
Now I do.
Anyway, everybody come to North Shore Animal League this weekend.
All right.
And
I love
have
you.
fun
I
with
love that
Cara
dog.
And
That is a beautiful dog, Duncan.
All right.
All right. I
And
love
honey,
you.
wear a name tag because I don't know your name. I love you too.
See you at home.
I'll see you later. And she is one of the hottest Jewish women in the world, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
When did you become that?
There was an article that says she's on a list. Aren't you on a list that says you're the hottest Jewish woman? Yeah. Hey, take a picture of that dog and put it on Twitter.
That is a great dog.
If you see this dog, you will adopt this dog. Wow, what a dog.
And feels good, too. I just gave her him a little pet.
Right?
Such a soft coat.
I'm tempted to take that dog. I like him.
That is a beautiful dog. You could not go wrong.
We got a house full of pets, though.
No, you don't. You got 2 cats and a dog.
That's a house full of pets.
That is not.
Cara DioGuardi. DioGuardi was on American Idol for 2 seasons.
Yes.
And I don't know what happened after that. To me, let me look at you. Cara, let me look at you. Put down the picture of Ronnie. No, let me look you over. Let me look you over, baby.
Cara is dead. There is no Cara anymore.
Cara?
Cara.
Is it Cara?
It's
that
Cara.
guy called me Cara. Cara. You're so
Simon.
annoying, Cara.
Oh, that's
It's Cara, man. Can I get my name back, please?
You got a great body. When you took your clothes off on American Idol and you went into the bikini, and I know in your new book there's a whole chapter on it, because it was traumatic for you, right? But I got the impression at the time that you really wanted people to see how hot you were and how hot your body was, right?
No, what it was they had this great idea, and they were like, all right, you remember Bikini Girl? We're going to have it back on the finale, and you're going to be in a bikini and come out, or you're going to be in a dress and come out singing, and then you'll show everyone.
I loved it. It changed my whole opinion of you.
It was a great idea, and I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And then I was like, well, wait a minute, who's doing that? And they're like, you. I'm like, no, whoa, I don't even want to go to the freaking beach in my bathing suit. Okay?
Is that true? I mean, here you are, the woman who wrote songs for years. You never got to be the person in the front. You never got to be the front person, so to speak. You'd write these songs for other people. They'd have huge hits. Suddenly, on American Idol, they want you in a bikini. You're going to be on the stage. Everyone share. I would think this is your dream.
Really? I wet myself. Okay.
What do you mean you wet yourself?
I was so nervous. My manager was like, "Honey, do not wear a white bathing suit. You better wear a black one," because he knew that I was so incredibly nervous.
And you peed in your bikini?
Yes, a little tinkle.
Is that true?
Yes, I swear to God.
It's so sexy. I could kill myself.
Oh, really? You like that?
Oh my God, that drives me nuts.
God. Are you serious?
That you couldn't even control your urine. That you peed all over your bikini. Was the bikini wet?
Listen, it wasn't like a puddle. It wasn't like
Was the bikini wet when you went?
A little bit, but what was worse is I had this this dress on from Vera Wang. And the poor woman, she was like, okay, I need it back the day after.
Right.
And all I could think
Pee
of
all
is,
over it.
all I could think of is she's going to get it and there'll be a magnifying glass like CSI and they're going to look down it and she's going to be like, oh my God, this pig.
Tell me you
anything.
defecated in your bikini and I'll marry you right
No,
now.
I didn't. I didn't.
You did not?
That one I didn't.
That
no.
would be so hot if you completely lost everything.
That would, that would have been really interesting for Bikini Girl.
Was American Idol the worst experience in the sense that, okay, you got to be famous, but you took a beating? I mean, you came in, and all of a sudden you're being scrutinized. Mm-hmm. You know, everyone's calling your name. I was doing it too. I mean, you were, everyone's like, get her off of there. They don't need a fourth judge.
No, I totally. It was like I broke up the Beatles, and
right.
I think what was really frustrating for me is that I could never voice who I really was, and they didn't set it up so well. So people were like,
they didn't introduce you properly.
Who the hell is this girl? She's got like some teased hair. She looks like Paula's cousin. She's sitting there. And part of it was I was so incredible. I sat on the couch in the back of the studio. I got coffee for some of the artists at times. They'd walk in and go, honey, I need it black with milk.
Right. So
I was so behind the scenes.
The weird in a way, they could have orchestrated you coming on American Idol in a better way to make people like you and understand the need for you. Because if you really analyze it, more than Simon, more than Paula, more than Randy, you've actually written. How many hit songs have you written? When I say hit songs that have been on the top of the charts,
a lot. Like 40, 50. I've sold songs of mine have sold over 159 million records.
Wow.
159 million records.
Songs that
So
I had.
if they had made that clear, like I didn't know anything about you. All of a sudden, I thought you were Paula's friend or something, or you were using you to keep Paula in line, which is the worst thing. That's almost to bring someone in and say, hey, she's here to get Paula in line.
Look, it was not easy, I got to tell you. And I think the hardest part was when I did sometimes read the blogs. And they were pretty hard on me, but also at the same time when I'd watch the show, I'd be like, she is annoying that person because that person wasn't me.
Where you would talk too much, and then Simon would say, "Oh, stop talking."
Well, I was nervous, and I was trying to figure out how to fit in, and it was impossible because they had this chemistry already.
Is it hard to be a judge in the sense that sometimes you really think someone sucks, and you just don't want to say it to them? You don't want to hurt their feelings.
Well, by the end, it was funny. The last season, it was probably really annoying for Simon because I would tee him up. I'd be like, that wasn't so good, I got to tell you. I mean, I was always negative, and that was kind of his role. So to tee him up was weird. But for me...
Would he say to you after the show, you fucked me over because you were negative, and now all of a sudden, when I'm negative, it seems like the same thing?
No, he wouldn't because, he knew that I wasn't... I think if he knew I was trying to fuck with him, he probably would have said that. He would have been like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Was he the boss, so to speak? Was he the one in charge?
I would say that he really ran the panel when he was there.
And how did he get that role? I mean, didn't Randy get resentful of that? Randy plays it smart. He just kind of lays back and
Randy's
happy to be there.
Randy's just a great guy. Randy is, Randy's like a teddy bear. He's just a doll.
He's going to go along with whatever's happening.
You don't like Simon, do you?
I do like Simon. I do. In the beginning, I thought he was way too hard on me. And
how so?
Well, when we'd be on the audition table, and he'd be like, "Cara, you're talking," and it was. I'm the kind of person that
way too hard. Are you on camera or off camera?
Well. Kind of both, but I understood it. Listen, I understood the guy was the star. I got it. It's not like I was like going in my room and, calling my agent. It was like I got it. I was just trying to figure out how to adapt around him.
He could have been more helpful is what you're saying, because he affects everyone's perception of you.
Totally.
And when he blows you off and he cuts you off and rolls his eyes while you're talking, you're doomed.
But
that's
you know what? That's TV, so I got it. Like, that's who he is. That's his role. But by the ninth season, we started to, I think, develop a respect for each other. And I have to say that I learned a lot from that guy. I learned a lot by watching him. So for that, I have to give him thanks.
Explain to me, as a songwriter, how you make a living, because I don't understand it. You write the song, and then after you write the song and someone like Christina Aguilera sings your song, you get checks on a regular basis.
You get. I mean, if you write big songs, we're talking millions of dollars.
Wow.
So I was.
You've written big songs.
Yeah.
And you have millions of dollars from it. And it's constant. In other words, I have friends who are in the music business, and they say, oh, the royalty checks just keep I'm taking 2 years off because the royalty checks come in. It's that big an amount, and how do you even know they're paying you the proper amount? How do you audit that?
Well, first of all, I'm one of probably the only songwriters that own their own catalog forever. Since the beginning.
You own all your own music.
I did, but I sold everything about 3 before I went on Idol. So I was when I was approached by Idol, I was almost like, I think I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I think I'm done now. Like I'm just gonna chill for a while. I had
millionaire.
In other words, you had enough. You have enough money that you could have said, "I'm done songwriting. I'm done working. This is it. I can play the rest of my life."
Oh yeah, I mean, I made more from songs than I did from Idol.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, from what you're saying, you're one of the most successful songwriters in the world, aren't you?
I think people would say I was one of the
Can you give us some
successful.
titles?
Yeah.
Well, here, wait. Let me do this. I'll give you some titles.
Why don't you do it?
Here, I'll tell you. I'll give you some titles, and then I'm fascinated by this. I really am. How do you know they're paying you the proper amount of money when you're?
Well, you check it, and you know. I mean,
when you check it, who do you check it with?
I go to BMI. I go to performance rights societies, the record labels. I also.
How could you really know that you're being paid properly? You really can't.
Well, you audit them too.
You do.
Of course.
And you've done
You want to know this? I am the only person in the history of the music business that audited a company and they had overpaid me.
Who was the company?
I had to pay back the money.
Who was the company?
EMI.
EMI. In other words, they'd sent you royalty checks.
Yes.
You checked.
I had to send back money.
Why did you tell them the truth? Could you have lied? And
what do you mean? They found, because when they go through the books that you have to disclose.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Have you ever audited and found that you were owed money?
No, not yet. Because you know why? I register my songs. See, a lot of writers like to go, oh, I didn't get paid. Did you register your song?
What does that mean?
They go, you have to put it in with the company. If you don't, they don't know to pay you.
I see. You've got to keep an eye on your songs are your children, and you have to keep
exactly. And I'm a business person. I own a publishing company.
Does it kill you inside that you don't get to sing your own songs? It would drive me insane. I mean, I always felt bad for the guy in the band, Robbie Robertson, who wrote all those songs, but he couldn't sing them. At least he got to be on stage and play the guitar.
Right.
Is that the worst part of this whole experience in your profession?
I mean, I wanted to be an artist in the beginning, but that didn't work out. So
you hate singing, don't you?
I hate performing.
Because your father ruined it for you.
Well, I don't want to say he ruined it, but he pushed me as a little kid, and I kind of, I talk about it in the book. I had stage fright. I definitely had stage fright.
Your dad would say, Cara, get up there on the stage and sing.
Yeah.
And that freaked you out.
It totally freaked me out because I was a perfectionist, and I was more about, like, am I going to get it right? Is it going to be great? As opposed to loving it and being in the moment. But I have to say, I thank my dad for that because it got me ready for American Idol.
You make that good, that your father would force you up on a stage to sing.
Well, when you're in front of 25 million people live, thank God I had that kind of experience.
Did you ever go out and perform some of your own songs? Will you ever sing your own songs?
Well, that's sort of how I got to writing the book, is I was doing these shows where I was singing the songs I co-written and telling the stories of
Is
how
that what
they
you
came
did?
to be.
Because of American Idol, you probably said, hey, I could go out and do a little show and people will come hear me. Like Burt Bacharach
Well,
used to
my
do that.
manager forced me to do it again.
Burt Bacharach couldn't sing his own songs, but he became such a known personality as a songwriter that he could go out and people would say, okay,
I'll
maybe
go see him.
he can't sing it so great, but that's it. Are you a good singer?
Asked me to sing one of my songs.
All right. What's your biggest song that you ever wrote? What's your favorite?
Well, I love Sober.
Sober. That's the one Pink did, right?
Yeah.
So when she's on the radio singing that, and you obviously can sing, do you ever say, why didn't I just record that song?
No, I say, thank God for that bitch. I love her.
Really? You don't want the spotlight?
No. Not like that. I love singing, I do, but...
What do you mean you wrote that song? I mean, you wrote
all right,
the music?
Let me tell you what it was,
all right,
okay?
let me
tell you
understand
that,
it.
because this is important, a hell of a high note gets into this. It says, because there's been all this stuff in the press about all these things that I've been through, but why it discusses it is because every experience I've had and everything I've gone through has been put into my songs. So I had an eating disorder, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So we go to write Sober. When you have an addiction,
What do you mean you go to write sober? Is that you mean you're with
I get
Pink?
a call from Pink.
You write together in a room.
Exactly. So I get there, and to be honest with you, it was the second time we'd met. The first time was a bit awkward. I met her. She was at the end of this album, and her record label was like, "You need to go out and find a hit." Meanwhile, she had all the hits, and they were like, "Go meet this girl, Kara." And she's like, "Who's this bitch, Kara?
Right.
You know, I got to go meet someone now. I'm a big artist." So I met her, and it was a little awkward, and I thought, "Oh, I blew that. That's never going to happen." But she called a year later, and I went out to Malibu.
Isn't it funny? You think you blew it. She blew it. She needs you. She needs
I don't know
the
if she needs
songwriter.
me. She's pretty damn good, I got to tell you. She's amazing.
I think she's a very talented woman, and I like her music.
She's writing a lot of her
songs.
right?
She really does. So I'm going to tell you what
and
happened.
I love that song, Sober.
Well, so what happens is I go out there and I'm like, let's talk about what happened last time. Because as women, you never want to be in a room with a woman and there's some weird shit going on. So we cleared the air on that, and then we opened the bottle of wine.
Right.
And I am not a big drinker. Like one or two, and I'm up on the bar, man.
Me too.
I'm ready to go.
Right.
This girl, she can drink a lot more than me. So I try to keep up. But what happened is we just had this great game of like drunken tennis,
You mean you would spew out a line, and then Pink would spew out a line?
Exactly, and that's how we would do it. She had the last line, "How do I feel this good sober?" And they had the track.
How did you know to call it? Did she come over and say, "We're going to write a song called Sober"?
She said, "I have a title. How do I feel this good sober?" And we wrote backwards from that.
And you were drunk when you wrote it.
Totally drunk.
That's insane, right?
It was so fun, and I was so drunk that when I went to get in my car on the Pacific Coast Highway, I had to pull over. I think I had to nap for 45 minutes.
Do you remember which lines you wrote in the song?
I remember the pre-chorus. I definitely influenced because it was a 4-bar loop. I don't know if you about.
We don't know anything.
Right? Okay.
We're idiots.
Yes.
So
From the
you're
basics.
definitely not an idiot,
Right.
but night is calling, all that stuff in the pre, and a lot of the melodies, and we did it
Who
together.
writes the melody? You guys write
We
it
both
together.
do. I mean, to get down to who did what, I'm telling you, that girl is one of the most talented people I have ever been around.
That
It was
is insane.
The best writing session of my life, and
I've
my
never-
mother's soul, the girl went into the recording booth and sang it 3 times, and it was done.
I've never heard a better explanation about how someone writes a song. I've never really gotten...
Chemistry. It's a date. It's a date.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes in and nails it.
Nailed it like you've never seen. We all had goosebumps.
Do you go to an office every day?
Not every day, but I go there.
You're a record executive at Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
You have a title. What is your title?
It's like A&R.
Right. You go out and discover people. That's got to be a trip
do.
because you
It's
can literally take the hand of God and make it. Forget American Idol.
Yeah.
You could take the hand of God, go see a kid in a club, and make him
You know
one
what?
of your
I'm
artists.
trying to change what's been going on in music because here's the thing: we got to have the right gatekeepers. Because people ask why isn't there a Beatles or a this or a that?
Right.
Well, artists are sensitive, and if they're in the wrong hands, they'll end up in bed for 4 years. So imagine that
Right.
somebody walks in who's really got the goods and they're mishandled or they're not talked to. Creative people speak a certain language. Business
You're
people and
absolutely
creative
right.
don't. So
You know what?
They respect me more than they would like some, guy who really has never
You're
written a
absolutely
song or-
right. You've written songs. You understand artists because what you say is not bullshit. I have friends who are in the recording industry. They can't get out of bed in the morning. They get into such depressions. They feel so much. That's how come they can write songs. They feel this intensity, don't they?
They do, and that's partially what this book is about. It's you cannot write great songs unless you come from a place of truth. And when you talk about Pink, the reason she's so great is she comes from her truth. She's not ashamed of it, and she lets it out there. And she's inspired so many people, especially women.
So you sat in the studio with her. She does this song, and you can smell a hit, can't you?
I was, whether it was a hit or not, it was a life-changing experience for me. It went in my brain. I went, why would I ever go in the studio with someone who didn't inspire me?
Now, after that magic happens, why does she say to you, let's go sit and write 10 more songs? Why is it just the one?
Well, she wrote a lot with Max Martin, these new songs, and he's one of the best songwriters ever.
You see what's coming across right now? Here you are, a woman who's incredibly knowledgeable about the music industry and have been responsible for millions and millions of records, and yet that never came across on American Idol. And in a way, that's the program's fault. You couldn't have set that up.
We didn't know who we were listening to.
In fact, you seem to be more important to me now because you do have this credibility.
Well, thank
What's
you.
the most difficult song you ever wrote? I'll give you a couple of...
Ain't No Other Man.
Ain't No Other Man.
I'll tell you why.
Why is
because
that? Who did that, Ain't No Other Man?
Christina Aguilera.
Yeah.
I wish I had that to play right now. Yeah.
I'll tell you why it was difficult.
Why?
Okay, let me see if I can clearly state this. You know when you go into karaoke bars?
Yes.
You know the track, the music they put on?
Right.
Well, a lot of times today, producers will give you a track. It's already done. The music is sounding great. It's ready to go. Okay? You have to write the top line, which means the melody and the lyric.
Right.
She had this track from a guy named DJ Premier, and it was going, do your thing, honey. Do your thing, honey. And I was like, oh, my God, shut that bit. I'm going to kill myself if I hear that one more time.
Right.
And Christina's going, this is my single. And I'm like, girl, you are out of your mind. That is not your single. That is like the worst thing I've ever heard. She's like, I'm telling you, this is the single.
She knew.
And I'm like, how is this the single? Who is this annoying person who keeps saying, do your thing? And she said, I'm just telling you it is. And I had to get out of my own head. And this is really interesting, actually. She was in a great marriage. And she was feeling really positive and really loved. And I was in a shit relationship. And I was blocking the words for Ain't No Other Man, the feeling, the intention, because it was healthy.
Right.
It was happy and it was healthy.
You weren't in that place.
And I have been in that place, but in that particular moment, I wasn't. So,
you married now?
Yeah, to a great guy.
Who is this guy?
His name's Mike.
Probably doesn't even work. He probably has you
He did work. He was a teacher.
Look at this fucking guy.
He was a teacher. And let me tell you, he totally works. He's operations.
Operations? What is that?
Well,
Operations.
in the house, we don't have any help. We don't have anything.
Oh, so
And
he's...
So I go, operations, I need you in the bathroom and down the income. And he comes upstairs.
Is it hard to respect a man who isn't powerful, who like you, who
Dude,
doesn't
that guy
have...
is so powerful. Are you kidding?
But you know what I mean. A man is defined by his job.
Outwardly, you need a powerful
Absolutely
man?
not. And
You
let
don't
me
get
tell
resentful that he stays home and doesn't have to earn the money?
I think he deserves a medal for dealing with me and my life. Seriously.
Really? And doesn't he feel inadequate in some way? Because
He is so supportive. He's so happy that
do
I'm
you
out
give
there
him
doing
cash
everything.
every week?
He works.
Oh, he does work.
Well, he works on we have a bunch of properties, so he's like, he just finished 3 bathrooms. He was away for a month doing them. He works hard. He digs ditches for the house.
But you have to pay him.
He's doing a job. I got to pay somebody.
How do you pay your husband? What do you decide to pay
Oh
him?
God, I can imagine how you think I pay him.
No, do you pay him well?
I pay him what normal people
In other words,
get
he
paid.
needs $5,000 to go buy himself a leather bag. Does he have to come to you
First
and
of
say,
all, he ain't buying a leather bag.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
No, he doesn't
You know,
come to me. He has
a
his
piece of
own money.
luggage.
He owns properties too. He has his own money.
He has his own money.
Yes, he does.
All right, take it easy.
Oh my God!
I mean, come on, man. You're getting defensive. What did I do wrong?
You're attacking her husband. She should
I'm
be
not
defensive.
attacking. I'm asking. Does he have access to your money? Is there a joint account?
No.
There is not. Of course not.
No joint account.
How long you been married?
2 years.
You got kids?
No, I'm trying.
And no one today can have kids.
I know. I've been having a lot of sex, no kids.
Oh,
A lot of
that's
sex.
good and bad.
Bunch of IVFs too.
Really?
Don't do that.
What am I supposed to do?
So don't have a kid.
Well, I may adopt.
Yeah. Get a kid from Malawi.
I think I'm going to adopt Ronnie. Where did he go? And Ronnie left.
He's looking to be adopted.
He is?
Oh, you did all the in vitro? You want that baby?
I tried, yeah. But
it's hard.
It's really hard.
What do you think it is? Maybe you exercise too much.
No, I don't exercise too much. I think, honestly, trying to get pregnant when you're on a live TV show is impossible.
So maybe you need to chill a little bit.
Yeah.
I did. I chilled. I gained some weight. Went through the process of it again.
And the in vitro is a very painful experience, isn't it?
It's, you got to give yourself shots.
In your
It's up and
asshole.
down. Not in my asshole. How could you shoot into an asshole? You can't. It's a hole.
Into your vagina?
What?
Stop it.
Where do you shoot this stuff?
Into your stomach. Oh my God.
What?
Stomach.
Into your stomach.
Yeah, right here. I just do
Let me
it right
see.
here.
Show me your stomach.
No, I can't do that.
Lift
right
up your dress. And
now. I'm
show
not going
me.
to lift up my dress.
You know you
No.
want to.
Oh, God.
Did it drive you crazy walking around Los Angeles all these years being this incredible songwriter, selling millions of records, and nobody knew your face? Nobody knew who you were?
No, I
God.
think what was most important to me, honestly, was being financially independent.
Yeah.
I see. It was about being able to work and make money and be successful.
Being able to stay in music, which was what got me healthy, like writing and dealing with my issues. Being able to do that as a living and stay in it and actually make money from it was my primary goal.
Then why take American Idol and then step out?
How do you say no to American? It's like, do
was-
you want to go on American Idol and be a judge? No.
Who approached you on that?
The producers did.
They knew of you. They knew of your reputation.
They knew of me, and it's funny because you never saw that side of me on the. They knew of me.
They
as very
reduced you to a joke. Simon took you and really kind of made you like you're not that important. Meanwhile, you're doing way more in the music business than he is.
I don't know that he reduced me to a joke. I think what was happening is, where was my role? I didn't have a role. And
Yeah.
you know what? And an industry executive, by the way, because that was my role. Who the hell wants to watch that? That's boring.
I don't
hate
think so.
experts.
You're a songwriter. We sort of heard that, but nobody ever really knew your credentials.
What artist has completely ruined your music? You wrote a song, you knew it was a hit, they took it and wrecked it.
I can't say anyone's ever wrecked a song.
Who blew it? What song do you think you wrote that should have been a hit and wasn't because so-and-so recorded it?
I got to think about that. Well, you know what? I'll say one thing. There was a song, and it's not because of the artist. It was because sometimes what happens is the people running these labels pick the wrong, not all of them, because I actually love Warner Brothers. I think it's a great label. But sometimes they'll pick the wrong song for an artist in the wrong genre. And I'll give you an example. There was a song I wrote called Lost by Faith Hill, who's a great singer.
Right.
But it was too pop, the song. It's not going to fit in country.
She shouldn't have been the one to sing it.
Right. So it wasn't her fault. It was just that it didn't live there. It didn't survive there. It didn't fit the market. She's a country artist. She can't be doing songs that kind of feel more pop.
You're a very good-looking woman. You know that, right?
Thank you, Howard. I appreciate
You're
that.
very attractive. When you were a kid, when you were growing up, when you were in high school, you probably had everything going for you. You could write music, you could sing, and you're
I
fucking
wasn't
hot.
doing that then.
Yeah, but you probably had an easy time in high school. You weren't unpopular, were you?
No, I had a lot of friends, good friends, and I
Boyfriend?
I had a boyfriend in high school. Yes.
Started sexually early?
I had sex at 15.
15?
Hold
Slept.
on.
What, go ahead.
Hold up. Let me tell you the rest.
Yes.
So I kind of did it for him because he was more sexually advanced than I was. And then I didn't do it again until I was 19, and I went to confession. And
You're a
I had to
Catholic
do like
girl.
1,000 Hail Marys and Our Fathers. And my father was looking at me like, what the hell have you done? What is, because that's how your parents would tell.
You reveal in your new book, and by the way, I should plug the book. It's a hell of a high note. It's in stores now. You reveal in the book that you were raped by a record producer. Now, after an experience like that, which when I read the notes, I got really sad for you. I mean, again, it sounds like Kim Cattrall saying, like, you go in, you were probably, what, a young kid? How old?
Like maybe 28, 29.
28, 29. You're a good-looking woman. You walk in there, and all you're trying to do is sell songs. You're trying to make a living. Some fucker, I don't know who the guy is. I don't know if you name him.
No, I don't.
No. Why is that you name him?
Because if you make it about one person, then it's about that person, and it's not an experience of all the other people that have gone through this.
Okay, but why don't we out these people? I don't understand
Was this
that. I was
person
talking.
ever punished?
I'll tell you, I walked straight up to him in a club. The 2 days later, well, the day after, I stayed in bed because I was just like freaked out. The day after that, I went out with a producer I was working with at the time, this guy Steve Morales, and it just so happened that the guy was in the club, and I walked straight up to him and said, "I know what you did to me." And he looked at me and laughed and said, "You wanted it, honey."
Oh.
And the producer, hold on, this was really important because I had been through this thing as a kid with my mom, and she didn't kind of stand up, and
You had been, and you're referring to, here, I'll take you through this because this is difficult. When you were a younger kid, you were molested by a family friend. And you were how old?
Around 11.
11 years old. And this guy got you alone. He touched you in inappropriate places. Did he have sex with you?
No.
No. He didn't force you to give him oral or anything like that, but he
No,
molested
just
you. He touched
touching
you
me,
and all of that. And so when you went to your mother looking for protection, you said, "Mom, this is happening to me," which most young girls don't. They're afraid because usually the molester says, "I'm going to kill your parents if you tell," and this and that. But did he try any of that on
No,
you?
no.
So you went to your mother. You trusted her. And you opened up to her, which is difficult. She basically ignored it.
It was, when you feel unprotected by a parent, I think what happens is in your brain it goes to, I'm not worth anything.
That's right.
So I had to kind of build my self-esteem. But in my mother's defense, she was very Catholic, repressed. My parents never said sex until I was like in my mid-20s.
Why does every person who isn't protected by their parents somehow build up that in defense of my parents?
Well,
There's
let me
no
tell
defense.
you, I discussed it with my mother before she died.
Okay.
You know, my mother was sick for 7 years, so I had a long time to get through
And you
this.
took care of her.
I did, and I forgave her. You know, it was the kind of thing that I know it weighed heavily on her because now that I've written this book, a lot of her friends
Carol,
have called and talked about
what
it.
was her response when you said, "Mom, why didn't you do something
She said,
for me?"
I wasn't strong enough, and I'm sorry.
And that's what you don't understand, Howard. These people are doing the best they can.
No, I do understand that.
And they don't
She
have
really
the
was.
wherewithal.
She didn't have. There was no Oprah back then.
Right, yeah.
There was
No,
no
I
one
understand
to tell. And
that.
this was one
But
of her
this is-
close friends.
let me
I mean,
ask
it
you
was a bad
something.
situation.
If you did have a child, or any child that you know came to you and told you this, how come you have the strength to stand up for that
you're
person?
talking to a girl who got slapped 2 weeks ago by some girl on the street for interrupting when she was yelling and pushing her daughter.
Good. Well, how come you have the strength and your mother couldn't find the strength? Let's not forgive her so easy.
We're different people.
Two different
We're different
times.
Why do we have to forgive?
Because if you don't forgive and you don't let it go and get past it, it's just going to eat you alive. I've moved on from it.
You're looking at a guy who's eaten alive, and let me tell you,
You know
something.
what?
I'm
You
still
look pretty
standing.
damn good.
Goddamn right.
You look pretty damn good.
So getting back to this painful subject. So you had been through this, and I don't understand what happened with this record guy. You
Okay,
go
so
in,
this is what happened. So I go up to him and I say this, and he laughs at me. But the producer I'm with sees this, the guy that I went to and goes up to him and goes, "You fucking ever touch her again, I'm gonna fucking." And so he stood up for me.
Right.
And it was this amazing moment where I just felt like so protected by him.
How did this guy rape you? Were you on a date with him?
Yeah, I was on a
you
date
were
with
on a
him.
date.
So what happened was he had been acting like he was so interested in my music and that I was so talented, and I was, you know, down in Miami and I didn't have any friends there or anything, and I was working all the time, and he seemed really nice. He had, you know, a daughter, I don't know what age, but he seemed like
a
he
good
was
dude.
divorced, but seemed like a good guy.
Right.
And, you know, we went on a date, and then, you know.
Where did he take you on the date? Dinner?
Yeah, a restaurant.
Drinking a lot?
No.
Okay.
No. And it just, at the end, you know, we went back, and I guess.
Where, his room?
No, he walked me to my apartment because I
Right.
had rented I had an apartment there. And we started, you know, kissing, whatever. But I was like, no. Date
didn't
rape
wanna
is
go
a
that
very
far.
strange thing.
Right.
Because you don't realize it's happening to you because it's not a stranger. It's someone who you actually thought you knew.
That's right.
And so, you know, before I knew it, he's like, it was just you.
He's
you're
kissing
frozen.
you, and then all of a sudden.
And I'm like, no, and
you said no.
a million times.
And he kept kind of pushing it.
Yeah, and then
And he pushes himself into you.
right, I'm not sure that he. I don't think there was,
You don't think there was penetration?
No, there was that, but not. He didn't
come or
yeah,
something.
He didn't come.
You don't think he came because
No,
what? You
'cause
threw
then
him
I
off
was
you?
like, then I started. I think to, you know, it got awkward.
It got weird, and you just said no,
again, and then
get
finally,
off of me.
he was like, you know,
He was pushing a little bit too hard.
Wow.
And wasn't
Yeah.
taking no for an answer.
Yeah, it was really.
The fuck is wrong with guys? Why does a guy get off on? Well, you know, I know it's not about getting off there. It's a power trip.
But in his mind, he literally thought that's what I wanted. Because I
Right.
went up to him and I was like, I know what you did to me. And in that moment, for whatever it was, I got some power back.
Would have been nice even if he could have said to you, you know what? I got carried away. And
I would have
and
understood that.
That you would have responded
If he said to me, you know what, I thought about it and I was, you're right.
I was a
that
little too
wrong.
aggressive or whatever. But no, he said you wanted it. Yeah, clearly
And by
you
the way,
wanted it.
here's the thing. It's like, I really was, all I cared about was doing my job and getting my songs on records. I was like a scrapper. I mean, that's what I cared about. I did not care about,
So
I
after-
never had sex with any guy I ever met on the first date.
The guy who yelled at him for you, did he try to have sex with you?
No.
Because that would have been my move.
No, he
I would have
didn't.
yelled at that guy. and go, what about me?
No, he didn't.
I calculate everything.
No,
I go, I'm
no.
going to yell for her, and I'm probably going to get in her pants
Oh
tonight.
my God, no, he totally
How
didn't.
long did it take you to actually go on a date with a guy after something like that happens to you and actually trust a guy and get into bed with him?
I think what happens is you get into the wrong relationships because it just reaffirms that I'm not worth any, that thing that I was coming back from. I had to, most of my career, I've been building back my self-esteem, coming back from where I was. And that's why I used all those things to write Walk Away, because I did get into a bad relationship. But I finally got it right. I'm with a great guy now, and that's why this book, I think, is important.
Doesn't date rape taint every relationship you have with a man? Aren't you sort of expecting that every man is an animal?
I think what it does is it makes it very hard for a person to be intimate. To truly, like, it's one thing, when you first meet someone you've been dating and then you start having sex, right? And it's like that new thing. But once it becomes like something you've been doing with them, it's the intimacy that keeps you together.
I love that challenge. I wish I had met you right after that.
Really?
Because I love the challenge of making someone feel trusting.
Is that the strangest thing you've ever heard?
I've done it 3 or 4 times in my life.
Really?
Absolutely. I'm terrific at that.
You're
I'm a
the
cleanup
guy
batter.
Date after date rape.
Many women have come to me after date rape and said, I'm talking with them, they tell me about it, and I go, now here's a challenge for me.
Oh my God, you're a sicko. I love it.
I never knew that about
I nurse women back to health.
You do?
I wish I could have nursed you.
I wish I'd known you.
I wish I knew these women. I don't even know them.
I know. Oh God.
The book is called A Hell of a High Note. It's in stores now. Carol will be signing copies of her book at the Book Review in Huntington, New York. This is a very important appearance, and you will get to see her. You will sign everything, and you will sit there and sign everybody's book, right?
Not only will I sit there and sign it, I'll take pictures and photographs. And
will you kiss them?
Talk. I hug and kiss all of them.
You do?
Not French.
No French kissing?
No, just
well, then you haven't gotten over your situation.
No, you're right.
You need
God,
me
what kind of a book signing would it be unless there was tongue?
Total orgy.
I had anal with all of the people online at my book signings.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh that's why you're
my ass was
weird.
so sore.
I know. That's why. That's what's going on.
May 7th at noon at Book
Does she
Soup.
still have people coming up and singing to her?
Yeah.
Because
You know what's so cute?
You're going to be on a new show, right? You're going to have where you're a judge.
I had judge on a songwriting.
But this makes sense because it's a songwriting competition, and you're a songwriter.
Yeah.
So this should be good for you.
It's really, actually, it's a great show.
Maybe you'll get to shine. And you like this better because it's pre-taped, so that you feel it can be edited. And
yeah, that's got its own issues because I have a lot to say, but they edit everything down.
What the fuck is wrong with Paula Abdul? Go ahead. Really, what is wrong? What are you still friends, or you got? Did the
I just saw her 2 weeks ago.
American Idol experience ruin your friendship for a while?
I think it was tough for Paula to arrive on set one day and then for them to be like, "Oh, by the way, there's a 4th judge." Like
you were very close. This is interesting in your book. Your book makes a lot of interesting revelations. When you were hired for American Idol, Paula Abdul was already working there. She was a good friend of yours. The type of friends that you guys go over her house and hang out and all this other stuff.
Not for years, but we'd spent a really close amount of time writing together. But you have to understand, friends like my friend from high school, whatever, that I still see, and then there's celebrity friends where you're friends for a minute and then they go off and they do their things. It's not the same.
But she was insulted. She showed up the day on the set,
She should have
and
been
you were
insulted.
there. All of a sudden, there was a new judge, and really, she shouldn't have been any more insulted than the men. But she was, because she was a woman. You were the new woman judge.
Well, I'm sure Randy was sort of like, "Hey, what's going on here, dog?"
Why didn't they sit them down and tell them? What were they afraid of?
I really don't know.
And she was angry with you because you didn't call her ahead of time and tell her. But as you say, hey, I wanted the job. I didn't want to lose my job.
She never said to me, "Why didn't you call me?" She was more like, what the hell is going on here? Like, there's some crazy I mean, it was literally like they were relighting the table.
Where did you see her a few weeks ago?
At the awards, the Logo Awards.
Logo Awards. And she was friendly with you?
Yeah, totally. We said, "Hey, how you doing?"
You're telling me they surprised Simon, too, with you as a judge, or they didn't tell him ahead of time? They told him. He knew. He gets to know, the other two don't. Oh, no wonder they were going nuts. Paula is probably devastated. Her show went off the air. She was a judge. She was going to do it on her own, and now, boom, over.
I think she's going to be on X Factor.
Simon has said he wants her for X Factor.
Oh, he does?
Supposedly, the negotiations haven't started, but he definitely wants her.
Do you believe that Paula Abdul has never been on drugs?
I think she said that she's been not on like drugs like pot or coke. I think she said she's taken some pills for her back.
Do you think she's loopy?
I think that Paula is creative, and I think that she's just That's her energy. Sometimes.
You don't think it's ayahuasca or any of this stuff?
What's ayahuasca?
You know full well what it is.
I swear
You've
to God,
never been to Peru and had an ayahuasca treatment?
What?
It is a leaf. It's an herb.
An ayahuasca?
That's right.
I grew up, my parents said marijuana, so I don't know.
Ayahuasca is the new thing now.
But it does
Read
say
up
in my
on it.
book how I got,
You got stoned at Paul Abdul's house, and she claimed the pot brownies you found in her refrigerator were put there by someone else.
They
Do you
were.
believe that for a minute?
I believe that 100%, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because they were frozen there, right? Nobody knew what the hell they were. The maid took them out to de-thaw them. And then she ate one and ended up in the hospital. I ate 6. I couldn't even walk. For 3 days, I missed Father's Day. My father's like, what the hell? You got to be in the music business with a bunch of drug addicts.
You're a wild chick, I bet. I bet you that, you revealed a lot in your book, but I bet you've probably been with another girl.
I've kissed a girl.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
You've kissed a girl? You never got a full-blown
No,
on
I
lesbo
kissed a
experience.
girl.
Ever been to an orgy?
No.
Ever have 2 guys at the same time?
Hell no.
Nothing. What's the weirdest thing you ever did sexually? Anal.
You said that. I didn't say that.
You're not up for that?
Oh, God. What was that?
That's you clearing out.
Oh, my God. It would be way louder than that.
When you make love to a man, will you ever play with his buttocks?
Oh, yeah.
You will. You'll put a finger in there. You will, won't you? How dare you? You do?
You have the most fun job, Robin.
I do.
Literally, this is the gig right here. I used to think it was Kelly and Regis, but now I'm thinking this is the gig.
This is the gig. This is the gig.
This is
We're
the
all
gig.
having a party.
Can you make that sound again? No, not with that.
That one. That's actually me.
Oh, my God. That's like music to my ears.
Sometimes do you ever say to yourself, I imagine it was really difficult in the beginning to get credibility as a songwriter. Like someone's going to go, who's this person? Why would I sit there and write a song
and
with
also
them?
with a name like Diaguar, I mean, it's a nightmare. Cara Diaguar, for
How
TV?
did you get your credibility? Did you have to write a song on your own first, and then when you have a hit song first, and then the people will write with you?
Not just one hit song. You got to have a few.
How many songs did you have to write before you actually got credibility, where people would turn to you to help them
It was
write?
the Enrique Iglesias record that changed my life.
Enrique Iglesias record?
Oh, this cat, man, forget it.
What did he do to you?
You know what he did to me in the Jingle Ball down here?
No. What?
So the first year after I write the escape, I said to him, he said, oh, I'm doing the Jingle Ball. Oh, yeah, Jingle Ball. In Madison Square Garden, everybody there. I'm like, oh, my God. He's like, you come. I'm like, great. Yeah. And we get there. He's like, you want to sing the backgrounds? I'm like, the backgrounds, you mean on stage? Yeah, you sing the backgrounds. You wrote the part. You could do it. I'm like, all right, great. But just cut the mic so no one hears me, because I don't remember all the parts. So I get up. I got a coat on, right? Like a big, bulky coat. I'm sitting there singing. Oh, next thing I know, these 2 people next to me that were wearing a jacket rip the jacket off. They're in skimpy little outfits, and they start salsaing, and I'm sitting there frozen in like a wool coat, not moving, and I'm like dying. I turn around, run off the stage, and the security guy goes, ma'am, what's going on here? And he quarantines me. He thought I was a Craze fan. Enrique gets off stage, and I'm like, Enrique, man, tell this guy what's up. I never saw her in my life.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen her in my life.
And they threw you out?
He finally said, but this guy's crazy. We'd be in the limo, and he'd say, stop it, you're hurting me. And the limo guy would turn around, and he'd go, she's hurting me. And he'd get out of the car to get me, and he'd jump in the front seat and drive away.
When you just stood up to tell that story, we caught a panty shot?
Really?
We saw some panty.
What?
Show me.
Show you panty? You're out of your
Wait a
mind,
second.
man.
Get out of your
You don't
mind.
have enough money
no,
for that.
show me on camera. Let me see what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Like they caught
All right, wait. They say they caught panty. Let me see.
What are they talking
What?
about?
They
Who
don't have
said it?
I don't know.
If you guys caught panty, my checkbook. I'm writing a check 'cause I need that
Good.
panty shot.
All right, let's. The new book is called A Hell of a High Note. It's in stores now. A couple of quick phone calls, and then I'll let you out of here. Let's go to Rick. Rick in Pittsburgh. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Howard. Carol, why do I suspect that you like to have your ass spanked during sex?
Is that true? Why does he suspect that you like to be spanked?
Are you?
Oh my God! Did my husband call you?
Yeah. Is that something you enjoy?
Do you like rough
sex?
sex?
You like to be choked? You like to be spanked? Anything going on there? There's
Choked and spanked.
Yes. Nothing wild with you.
I mean, sometimes my hair pulled. I guess.
Yeah.
Are you highly orgasmic?
I don't know what that means.
Someone told me you like to be called anti-Semitic names while you're having sex.
What?
Is that true?
You're out of your freaking mind.
All right. Yes.
The panty shot is ready.
All right,
What?
let me see it. There, let
What
me see it.
panty shot are you?
Look, take a look at the camera. I mean, take a look at that monitor. Let's see. Whoa, I saw a little something.
I don't know.
Right there.
You guys have a camera right up my panty.
Not up your panties. It's right over there. Listen, it
You
happened.
guys are a bunch of sickos, man. Are you joking? Well, it's not bad. At
It's
least
not
there's
bad. You
not
look hot.
cellulite or anything.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, now I see it. You're wearing white underwear, and it's sexy.
Thank God I wore underwear.
You're a very sexy woman, I'll tell you.
Oh, really? Thank
That's
you.
right. You can write about this in your next book.
That I said you were I was sexy?
No, that you had a panty shot. Paul, go ahead.
Good morning. I wanted to see if you guys had watched the Voice show last night.
I watched a little bit of it.
I didn't see
it, no.
Was it good, Robin?
It was interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to Tony. Tony, go ahead.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Kara, I just want to say I Googled you as soon as you appeared on the show, and I just thought it made for a much better experience. I really respected what you had to say.
You mean when she was on American Idol?
I really appreciate that.
All right.
I really
Also,
appreciate that.
I have one other thing I want to say quickly. Did you try cough medicine for a replacement for IVF?
No, I didn't.
Cough medicine?
What?
Cough
How does-
medicine. You
really?
want to look into that. Doctors won't tell you about it, but it doesn't make for great radio, so I won't go on.
You're telling me that she can have a baby if she drinks cough medicine.
Absolutely. I have a son. I have a son to prove it.
Wow.
And how do you learn about something like that? Was that just your discovery?
A nurse told us while we were going through IVF. Our daughter is IVF. Our son is natural. Now
It's cough medicine.
Cough medicine.
Well, get on the cough. I knew a guy, a disc jockey.
Not only that, let's
in
get
Detroit.
some stock in halls.
I knew a disc jockey in Detroit who was addicted to cough medicine, and boy, was he a mess.
Was he fertile?
Thank you, though, very much for that.
Dennis, go.
recommendation.
You're not going to do it, are you? You're not going to start drinking cough medicine, or are you going to look into it?
Well, first of all, I'm going to drink it because maybe it'll help me get some sleep tonight.
Are you in
book tour is killing me.
You're having a hard time with this book tour?
No, it's just that being up, not so much sleep, but
Time
it's all right.
changes and
Yeah,
were you ever a drug person?
Never, no.
Smoke weed, except for the
I
one
have.
time.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally when I was younger. Not now. No.
You like a cocktail here and there?
Who the hell doesn't like a cocktail?
Take it easy. No
Howard doesn't.
No one's accusing you of being an alcoholic. You got liposuction, huh?
Yeah, I did.
You don't need it. What, did you really need it?
Well, that was the stupidest thing I ever did in my life. I don't know. I was in Paula's place, and I was, ridiculous, and looked in the L.A. Weekly and said, "Oh, I never liked my knees. I'm going to go do that." I mean, what a psycho! I didn't even know who the doctor was. I could have died.
Right.
It was so stupid.
Well, just for your knees. You sucked the
Knees
fat out of your
and,
knees?
and like
And
right
your hips?
here, yeah.
Why? You had cellulite?
No, I had the last, I had eating issues, and I have to tell you, once I spent $5,000 to do this, my binge eating was never
What is binge eating? In other words, you starve yourself all day, you get home at night, and then you just
It was
gorge.
there was a time in my life where I really I was trying to be something I wasn't. I went to Duke. I was going to be a lawyer, and that was
Right.
not who I was. I was
No,
creative.
you're a
So
creative songwriter.
Yeah, so I developed an eating disorder, and it was mostly you eat a lot of food, and it numbs you out, I never threw up or anything like that.
Never
but
did the anorexic
no.
thing?
But it got out of control where I'd wake up in the middle of the night and night binge. And
Did you gain weight?
yeah, oh yeah.
A lot of weight.
Yeah, like not a lot, but probably 20.
Because your body looked awesome on American
20,
Idol.
25 pounds.
What do you think of the new American Idol, or do you have to be diplomatic and say it's perfect?
Have you watched?
I've watched bits and pieces of it. I mean, I think they have a great chemistry, and I think that's what's
Do
great.
you think it's too positive, though? Do you think that
Well-
someone needs to say, do you miss a Simon-type character there?
I haven't seen enough of it to know if they're being critical, but what I do like about it, I'll tell you, is, I love Steven Tyler.
Yeah, well, who doesn't?
I told the executive producers to call him for Idol.
Yeah.
That was partially me.
Seems like a lot of people are taking credit for that, though. You know what I mean? A lot of people.
Who said it?
Somebody,
Ask Steven.
Stephen was here. He told us that it was me, actually.
Oh, did he really?
That's right. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
No, but I bet you'd love to write a song with Stephen, right?
I did. That's how I knew him, because he came
What
over
song
one
did you
day.
write with him?
It was a song for a movie in Japan called Love Lives. But what happened is that last year I got a phone call from my friend Marty Fredrickson, and he said, "What are you doing right now?" And it so happened that I had a session blowout. He said, "You want to write a song?" I said, "What are we doing?" He said, "I got Steven Tyler in the car."
Oh, wow.
I said, "Are you out of your mind? You want to come over here with Steven Tyler?" I said, of course you're going to come over here right now. You come here right now. I was so excited. Threw on a bunch of makeup, got the Yamaha, the old keyboard down, and he walks in, and I just thought this guy was the greatest guy ever.
Is it easy to write with him? Because he's always full of phrases.
Easy. And open and smart and funny.
But he's uninhibited, right? Because
he's the best.
He'll just start singing, right?
Oh, he started singing. He played Dream On in my living room. I took the pizza he ate and saved it.
Wow.
I was like,
did you really?
Oh, my God. He's an icon.
I love Steven. Did you think it was sort of a come down, though, for him to put himself out there like that? You think it's okay, right?
I think it's great because I think people will get an experience with him and they'll also hopefully go back and check his records out.
Do you care about J-Lo at all? Do you like her?
I mean, I think that, obviously she's got a hit now. She's relevant. She's somebody who sold a lot of records. And, look, American Idol, it was a great experience for me in the end.
Why don't you watch the show now? Is it too painful?
Because American Idol is my life. Every day there's a
you want to be done with it.
Well, no, it's because every day I'm listening to people sing.
Right,
I'm listening to songs.
Right.
So, do you want to go home and talk about radio? You probably
a lot of the no. A lot of American Idols, though, they don't. They're really not. They don't have the charisma. Isn't part of it not just singing, but it's also your look and sort of what you put out there in terms of your energy?
I mean, I'm gonna make it more about the one thing that it's all about, which is songs.
Right.
When you leave that show, you better have hot songs because you're competing with Lady Gaga and Katy Perry.
And Kelly Clarkson fucked up her life by going off and stopped collaborating with other songwriters, right? That's what screwed her up?
No, she did her own one record on her own, but she came back and she's been doing really well since. And she has truly an unbelievable voice.
When you worked with her,
she's the greatest.
So what was she? What was her? What happened to her? Because I heard she just didn't want to work with anyone anymore.
No, I think that she wanted a moment to kind of express what she was feeling. I mean, this is the thing that is so important about music. It's like these people are expressing what they're going through. How would you like to go into a room and she says, "Well, this is what I feel today," and some guy says,
"No,
I don't care about that. Just sing this."
Right.
And you've done all this to come so far, and you're not being listened to.
Have you worked with Britney Spears?
I have.
You have.
Mm-hmm. She was a sweetheart.
You must be worth a fortune. Are you worth $100 million?
Not 100.
Wow.
When you say you worked with Britney Spears, what did you do with her?
I produced a vocal.
Okay.
Was she mental?
No, not at all. Not with me.
She was like the normal.
She's a sweet girl.
Yeah.
Really
You're
sweet.
worth the close. You've got to have an amazing catalog. You're a
I don't
smart
own it
businesswoman.
anymore. Yeah, and I own
What do you mean you
publisher.
sold? You owned your own catalog and you sold it
To Bug Music, yeah.
When you sell that many, how many songs were in the catalog?
Hundreds.
Well, what do they pay for something like that?
Some money.
70 million?
No, not
50 million?
La 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 la.
Wow.
Can we hear more songs?
Do you have a prenup with your husband? Hello?
La la la
Hello?
la la.
Panty shot time again if you don't come out with the words.
Robin, you're so pretty.
Do you have?
Oh, stop.
Oh, stop it with her. She knows that already. You had to have signed a prenup with your husband. You're worth.
You just got
Isn't
married
time
2
up?
years ago.
I thought that was an hour we were in.
All right,
No, we're
well-
keeping you. We like you.
All right, you have the Jason. You have the last word, and you're right. The time is up. Jason, go ahead. Hello.
Oh, he hung up on me. I
He had
love
enough.
it. He had
That's
enough.
right.
He's like, you know what? Screw that bitch.
Well, there you go. Listen, you've had an interesting life,
I have.
and
I've had
that's
a good
why
life.
that's why it's in a book. Cara DiGuardi's book, A Hell of a High Note, is in stores now. I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you. And I hope it inspires people to follow their dreams, go for it, and face their fears, because
What
that's
if
what I
their
did.
dreams, there's so many people who go on American Idol and they think they can sing, but they can't sing. Don't you think there are people out there who are totally off the mark in what their dream should be?
I do, but you know what? There's one way to see whether it's a dream or it's really, a pipe dream or a dream, and that's the hard work. Because a lot of people want to say they want to do things,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you got to work hard for it.
Listen to me. Out in the hall when you leave, we have a parting gift of about a case of Robitussin, so you can have
Oh
that
my
baby.
God, that's awesome.
I'm going to make sure
I'm
that
gonna get
happens.
to it tonight.
I happen to know you're a good person. I know in your book you talk about your mother dying and you took time off and you sat with her. What, for 6 years you were with your mother?
She was sick for a long time.
You gave her, you cleaned her, you changed her diaper, you gave her enemas, and let me tell you something. Ain't that many people who'll do that.
She really was a great person.
She's
She
all
had,
right.
she's
was
human
okay.
like all of us. But let me
She
tell you,
was human.
I swear to God, that's the best thing I ever did in my life.
Being with your mother while she was dying.
100%.
Father still alive?
Yes.
Okay. Dating?
Married.
Married.
Wonderful woman, yeah.
All right. Now.
I like you.
Oh, I like you.
No, I do. I really like you. I like you.
got-
You know when I knew I really liked you? When I read this Rolling Stone interview.
Oh, really?
I thought it was very heartfelt. You were really honest, and I like that you were dealing with your demons. I like people who face their shit. To me, it's what this life is about.
And I'm going to tell you something. You're right to like me, because I am a wonderful person.
Nah, I'm starting to see this.
Right. And I turn you on. Believe me, I do.
You know, I think you turn everyone on.
That's right.
Let's be honest.
I'm sorry-
Ronnie's even turned on.
I think you are in love with me.
I am so in love with you.
That's right.
If you're going to help me sell books, I am like beyond in love with you.
There you go. Well, we will help you sell books. It's an interesting book. It really is. And congratulations. A hell of a high note. In stores now.
Hi.
You guys hit it off.
Oh God, that was so fun. I mean, you know, that guy like gave me my props. I'm forever a fan. I mean, I was a fan already, but you know, in the past, I think he definitely. What did he call me? A eye roller or something? But I understood it because on Idol, when I looked at myself, I'd go, "That girl is so annoying. I want to smack her." So Cara is dead.
And Kara,
I'm Kara.
you're back.
I'm back. I'm me. So anyway, it was great. I hope I get to come back.
I heard you say in there that you finally felt like you could display who you truly are in there.
Yeah.
He gave you that forum.
He did. He really did. And for that, I owe him a lot. I really appreciate that. He could have made that really tough for me and concentrated on all the negative, but he gave me a minute to really tell people what I do and to show that I'm actually a kind of fun girl and I don't take everything so seriously.
Now, you've worked with a lot of talent. You've also obviously been a part of American Idol where you evaluate talent. Evaluate Howard. What makes him so special?
Well, he's doing a lot of things. He knows how to suss somebody out. And he also has an angle, and he's somebody who does his homework. He did a lot of homework to know all those things. That's not just fly by, sit there and interviewing and not knowing anything about who you're interviewing. And he knows how to stay in character.
Right, there's a lot of humor involved.
A lot of humor. He's really funny, and he goes with it, and he's dedicated, and he works hard, like everybody who's successful. He gets an A+. He's going to Hollywood.
He didn't get any.
Yeah.
He's not getting downgraded because of the panty shot, though, right? That's okay.
I mean, what am I going to do? I wear panties. What is that going to be online? That my panty shot? I'm just glad there wasn't any cellulite there.
No.
But I'm just trying to figure out how you get a panty shot, because there must have been a camera up my dress.
No, they're all in the ceiling. They're all from overhead.
How the hell did that? All right, I'm not that stupid, so I'm trying to figure out how that worked. But all right, whatever. They got a panty shot. Great. What am I going to do?
So you'll be back, it seems. It seems like...
If he wants me back, yeah.
I think so.
He's awesome. I had a great time.
Cool. Thanks for stopping by,
Thank
Kara.
you.
He wants to make you hot chick of the week.
Oh, that's... Are you serious?
Why not?
That's awesome. Aww.
He has 60,000 followers.
74,000.
74?
That's so sweet. You know what, though? I think I'm too old for you, I mean. Young, old for you.
You're married.
Yeah, I know. You know what? You're a good guy. And I side with him, by the way, because there are a lot of people that will tell you that they love you, but not show it. And you maybe don't say it, but you show it. And actions to me speak louder than words.
JD thinks that's funny.
Oh, what the hell does JD know?
I just thought it was funny how she got brought into his relationship.
Yeah.
I did. She asked me about it, JD.
I did.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know.
This is an ongoing thing from before she went into the studio.
All right, okay.
I thought this was. Take it easy.
I just thought it was funny.
I wasn't interacting with the guest. It started.
I just felt you
Take it
weren't
easy.
so comfortable
I have to
talking
walk,
about
I have
it.
to walk the lady out
And now
now,
you're
okay?
discussing it with all our guests.
Ronnie's walking me out.
I have a job
Forgot
to
your
do.
Ronnie Munn painting.
I have a job to do.
What's all this good stuff here?
Take it with you.
Oh, I want a red velvet cup.
I'll get you a plate.
Wait, can I bring one to Larry?
Yeah, we'll get you a plate.
Wow, you really got on Ronnie's good side.
I like Ronnie.
He can be a tough guy sometimes.
Ronnie?
Yeah.
Sweetheart. It's cupcake.
Oh, he's getting his
Papa Ronnie is
to-go container.
Papa Ronnie. I love Papa Ronnie. It's kind of like pepperoni, but Papa Ronnie. You're totally Papa Ronnie. No, that's a great name for you because it's like it sounds like pepperoni, but it's Papa Ronnie. Papa Ronnie.
Sounds good
Papa
to me.
Ronnie. Oh, I could write a jingle on that. Let me see.
Kara, he's been taking a lot of flack for his new mustache. What do you think about that, the handlebar?
So what's under it?
What's under what?
You got nice lips, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He doesn't need a
Work good with you.
Oh, you're funny, man. Come on.
Bye.
I gotta go. Papa Ronnie.
Thank
See
you.
Bye. See you later.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John Hyde and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
On Monday's wrap-up show, Deb called in to defend me between the age difference of me and my girlfriend. She had an older boyfriend also. There was like a 20, 30-year difference between them. Unfortunately, her guy kicked off, and she's unhappy without him, but mine still got me. Then Ken called in from somewhere in the fucking future somewhere and tried to break my balls. But you wait and see what I did to him. Check it out.
Deborah in Jersey, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hi, guys. Is this me?
Yeah, it's you, Deborah.
Hi. I want to defend Ronnie.
Okay.
Because, everybody makes a big deal about the age difference between him and his girlfriend. And I want you to know I had a relationship, the love of my life was 34 years older than me. And what people don't understand about that is women love contrast. And sometimes, people, if you're white and you date somebody who's black, that's a sexy contrast. And sometimes it's an age difference contrast. But why I want to defend Ronnie is this. I think he does genuinely love his girlfriend, but he's protective of her. And he realizes because of the age difference that, if one day she changes her mind or she wants to go on to a, more permanent relationship with children, he doesn't want her getting emotionally committed because she may grow past this relationship. And I think Ronnie is being very sensitive to her feelings, and he's being way more protective than you guys are giving him credit for.
What do you think, Ronnie? Is Deborah making sense here?
Well, basically, that's what I said, because I've talked to her about this numerous times about, are you sure you know what you're doing getting yourself into this relationship with me? That, first of all, I told her we're never going to get married. And second of all, I told her we're never going to have a kid.
Right.
So she doesn't care, she claims. See, and I'm very leery of that.
But are you protecting her, or, hold on, are you protecting her or are you protecting you?
Both.
Right, because it's the same for you. You're protecting yourself because she may say, you know what, I want kids, I got to go.
Right, but
Ronnie, let me tell you something. She does really, really love you. And if any insecurity you have about that, banish it from your mind because she loves you. She's your lover. She's your confidant. She's your girlfriend. I know it sounds crazy that somebody could, with that much of an age difference, but, Scarlett Johansson is dating, what's his name, the actor now.
Sean Penn.
Right. But they went to the correspondence dinner, and they went separately. She went with her fraternal twin brother because they didn't want the press talking about them. But the press did talk about them, and they started listing all the May-December romances. And guess who made the list? Howard and Beth. And, Howard can't be a hypocrite about this because he's 18 years older than his wife.
Yeah, that's still 16 years less difference than Ronnie.
Hey, Deborah, as from the woman's point of view, from
15 years, Gary.
Happy birthday.
Deborah, from the woman's point of view, your guy was 34 years younger. How should Ronnie help prepare Stephanie for his death?
What an
idiot!
I swear to God.
Laugh about that. It's not. It sounds like a morbid topic, but we used to discuss that all the time with Mike, and we joke about it. And he would complain about his age, and I would say to him, "Well, consider the alternative." Now the irony of it is,
what happened to your guy? What happened to your guy?
She killed him.
Was when he was dating me. And would I date a man 34 years younger than me? No, I wouldn't. That's just my own insecurity. But love is love, and attraction is attraction. And Ronnie, she's not dating you because of your notoriety or your wealth or whatever you think.
Wealth.
She genuinely loves
no wealth, believe me.
Underneath all that facade.
No, Deborah, we definitely got that. Just the last question is, what did happen to your guy?
What happened to your guy?
He did pass away. He passed away.
And how old was he when he passed away?
72.
And how long were you guys together?
On and off for about 20 years.
Okay, and how old are you now?
I'm Howard's age. I'll be 57 in May.
Okay, well, that's what I
And
do.
Could you tweet a picture of your ass?
Ronnie,
Yes.
I got to tell you
Go
something.
ahead.
He still was the best.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was the love of my life. And the thing is, until hopefully maybe I'll meet somebody else one day. But I'm saying, forget this business. These guys are too young to appreciate that it doesn't matter what package your lover comes in. If you love them and you're attracted to them, you could be from Mars and
Right.
somebody could love you.
I got you.
All right, thank you,
Thank you.
Deborah.
Thank you very much, Deborah.
Ronnie, have you discussed funeral plans with Stephanie? at
No,
all,
I
like you were
haven't.
saying?
No, I haven't.
That's a follow-up question.
The late 50s is a good time
Thanks,
to look
asshole
for your...
Benji.
Hey, Ronnie, I know you love Steph or like Stephanie, and I know she loves you. I think it's a great relationship if you guys are happy. I have no.
We've
nothing,
had that.
but it's a real
conversation
thing.
a million times.
It's a
going
real
around
thing.
in
That's what age
circles.
difference is. I mean, really, that's what it's about. It's like
Listen,
who's gonna die?
She dated guys. We talked about this a million times in the past 3 years. Okay, she's dated guys her age. She can't find anything in common with them. All they want to do is meet her at a club or something, take her home and fuck her, and then leave her.
In
She doesn't want to be
bathrooms.
Isn't that what you guys do?
No, but
It's a different club.
No, dude, I'm just saying. What are you talking about?
Instead of the tunnel, it's Rick's.
Gary. That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh.
It's they're all looking for one night stands.
I see what you're saying. I got you.
She's looking for a relationship where she can be with somebody that she cares about.
But you, all right, never mind.
Ken in Florida, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, age difference is the least of this loser's issues.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What do you mean,
First
Ken?
of all, well, I agree with the previous caller. If age was the only thing, even 2-3 decades, I don't even think that matters. It's the emotional immaturity that this guy brings to the relationship, whatever age. She's more adult than he is. I want to ask one question.
How do you know that?
Well, go ahead. Ask your question, Ken.
Yeah, all the time that the Eugene is in the studio, all the time that he's putting on his little Ronnie shows that we hear about, who's doing his job? Who's the appointed person? I know a little bit about security, and I know.
And
that
what do
if
you
you're
know
listening-
about it? What do you know about it?
Why don't you be
What
quiet
do you
and let me
know about it?
Listen,
You don't know shit about it. You're sitting in Florida on your goddamn. You're sitting in your goddamn rocking chair in Florida, looking out the window,
Fucking
leave
your
fuck
fat
alone.
wife.
Yeah,
Hey, I'll tell
yeah.
what
You
I know
retired piece of shit.
tell you what I
Get
know
out of
about-
here.
I'll
Go
tell
to
you what-
Boca and sit there at the early bird special.
Hey, Gary, will you shut him up for a
No, I'm not going to shut up.
Gary,
Because
will
you're
you shut him up
jealous.
for a second?
Jealousy.
I don't really have much control over Ronnie.
No, wait, he shut his mic down.
No, nobody's shutting my mic
well,
down.
Ronnie, okay, hold on a second.
Well, Ken, what was your question? And Ronnie will answer.
Okay, Ken, make a point.
He
and
won't
say-
talk to me though. See, he won't
All right,
talk
but
to me.
Let him say it. Let him say
He's
it.
a dick. He can't. He can't fucking address me.
Ronnie, let him talk.
Address me, moron.
Ken, ask Ronnie your question. Ask
like
Ronnie
a
your
human
question.
being, not like an
I'm
asshole.
trying to.
No,
Listen
just
to
say,
this.
"Hey, Ronnie, I want to ask you a question." Not
I'm
fucking
trying to.
immature asshole or whatever you're
Hey,
going to
Ronnie,
say.
Listen to this.
You're the immature asshole talking like that.
I'm trying to talk.
Well,
You
now
won't even allow
talk like a normal
conversation.
person.
I'm glad everybody's hearing this because you have no capacity to be quiet. It's all about you.
Right.
Now, I'm going to
It's my microphone.
I'm going to answer your question. You asked me what do I know about security? A simple, basic fact. That if you leave your post, you better damn well have somebody backing you up. Otherwise, you compromise security. And I ask the simple question, who do you have backing you up when you're not where you're supposed to be?
Okay, first of all, my post is outside and inside the studio. So when I'm inside the studio, I am with Howard. So what's going to happen when I'm inside the studio?
Your perimeter is unprotected.
What perimeter? I'm in the
I guess
fucking
that's what-
studio.
that's
you
what you don't
moron.
know about
And we
security,
also have serious security right outside the door.
know what-
fool.
you don't know what
So you don't know what
perimeter
you're talking about.
You don't know what perimeter means, asshole?
Yeah, we have serious security outside the door. Okay, asshole.
Listen, you fool.
No, you fool.
I don't
A
understand.
guy who sits on a phone calling the radio show all the time is a fool.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You want to start knocking your fans, the subscribers who pay your salary? You don't think you want
please.
I don't think you want to start. Wait a second. Another sign of immaturity.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
think you guys want to start insulting your listeners.
You called up and insulted me, you fucking asshole. No, you called up and insulted me first, didn't you? You couldn't call up and say, "Hey, I got a question for Ronnie." No, I got a question for the immature idiot or whatever. Fuck you, dude. Who are you? You're shit.
It's just a given. It's just a given.
Shut your fucking radio off. I don't care.
The way you deport yourself in public, Ronnie.
Yes.
The way you talk about.
Yes.
I'm talking to a guy who likes fingers up his ass. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're not into sex. You like fucking taking it up the ass from guys.
I'm not the one that said it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad everybody got to hear it. You're short. You got no.
What do you got? What do you have?
My work involves. Let's say work that got me as the runner-up in the Gary audiobook contest.
Oh wow!
Or whatever it's
How
I'm
cool.
just saying. I'm not. I believe me. I didn't live to do it.
Runner-up, you didn't even fucking win.
Let's just
You're
say
great.
I work with
You're awesome, man.
I work with Pro Tools a lot.
So do you think that makes you better than Ronnie?
Of course.
No, not one bit.
Well,
I'm not the one that says better or worse. I just said that this guy is so emotionally immature.
Listen, dude, listen back to the
tape. He doesn't even know how to handle a relationship. And the way he behaved on the show today, when Stern just let him ramble on and basically take control of the microphone, Gary, no disrespect to you and a little disrespect to Howard, but you guys can't moderate properly if you let this guy steamroll over people.
Actually, when he was I got to tell you, when he was steamrolling over you, it was sort of funny. That's why we let it happen.
How many? Hey,
it's just not funny to you.
Hey, you! How many followers do you have on Twitter?
Hey, you know how many I have? I'll tell you.
How many? What? 13?
None, because I could give a shit. And I don't think anybody really cares what I have to say. That's how important I feel about myself.
Well, obviously, that's why you have to call the wrap-up show to get your big mouth out somewhere, don't you?
All right, I'm bringing this to an end. Ken, thank you for calling in.
On Tuesday's wrap-up show, we're lucky to have two big guests, director Scott DePace and Robin Quivers from our show. And they got into a discussion about Obama, about Donald Trump, about torturing prisoners, and it got a little bit heated. It was interesting to watch. Here's what happened.
There's been a lot of talk about bin Laden and what went down, and I asked Scott to come down to Pace because it seemed like everyone is sort of okay with now some of the methods that were used in order to get to the end. You know, the means justifies the end, or vice versa. Do you feel vindicated at all now that people are like, you know what, maybe it was a good idea that we had those guys down in Guantanamo?
I guess so, a little bit. Why, Gary, how are you feeling these days?
I'm just glad it happened. I'm not
but
really.
Are you okay with waterboarding a Khalid Sheikh Mohammed?
But I think they've been very quick to point out that none of these revelations were made during the enhanced interrogation.
That's not what the guy from Long Island, the senator,
Peter
is saying.
King. Yeah, I don't like him at all.
Yeah, because he's Republican.
No,
of course.
because he's just sort of a loose cannon that just says a lot of wacky shit. Not because he's Republican.
Wow. Well,
what do you mean,
liberal, where's the loose shit? Where's the loose cannon you're talking? I don't understand.
He just spouts a lot of crap.
Because he had a committee hearing on whether Muslims or, I don't know, whatever he said, Muslims in America or something. Is that the one?
Just in general, I always hear him, you know, he's always on the contrary to anything that the Democrats say. So, yeah, I probably don't like him because he's Republican.
Exactly.
He's ugly, too. He's like a big face. But hey,
he's a funny-looking guy.
There's like there's two things that I think people are mixing up into one thing with the enhanced interrogation. Is there's the moral argument. Is it morally wrong for us to be doing it? And is it effective? So, Robin, I want to ask you first, like, do you think is it morally wrong for us to be doing it, whatever the results?
Yes, I think it's morally wrong, and I don't think it's effective. And I think that's one of the things that are, is coming out of all of this stuff is that nothing was done. This guy didn't talk until after all that was over.
No, none of us know.
That's what I'm reading in reports.
Well, what I'm reading is opposite of that.
But this is what I don't understand, and this is like the argument. I was on the treadmill yesterday. I watched CNN and Fox News. I was going back and forth between the both of them. It was like two entirely different stories. So how does it come out that Robin's reading something one place and you're reading something in another place? What is that? What does that mean?
Right, exactly. It's fucked up. So what I believe is
what you want to believe.
I don't give a shit.
What you want to believe is.
I don't give a shit whether we chop their fucking toes off. These guys, they're not in a military. The Geneva Convention does not apply to them. So therefore,
well, it doesn't matter whether the Geneva Convention applies.
Well, that's what
there is a right and a wrong, and you have to decide what kind of people
you're
you want to
basically
be.
scaring them is all you're doing. You're not putting their health in any danger. So scare them all you fucking want, as far as I'm concerned, to find out the
Well, why
information you
don't
need.
we start putting, bamboo shoots under their fingernails?
Well, that you conceivably could say you're physically hurting them at that point. Right?
Yeah, I heard the argument that we're not doing that. This is actually, I heard this on Nick DiPaolo's comedy record. He said we're not putting bamboo shoots. That's exactly what he said. He goes, he was trying to explain on his comedy record, but he was being serious that you know how like when you see wrestling and how the floor has got springs in it, that the walls are like that. And when they bang a guy's head against the wall, they're not really hurting him. And when they waterboard him, all our guys get waterboarded. And that we're not torturing them, we're scaring them.
So Gary and Rob, if you, let's say...
By the way, I haven't come out and said I'm against torture.
Well, if you found out, Robin, it was effective to prevent innocent
You
death.
still have to determine what kind of person you want to be.
One that wants to keep our Americans safe.
Under any circumstances.
Yes. Yep.
That's the kind of person you want to be.
Are you okay?
What do you want
Are you okay with them putting a bullet in Bin Laden's head, or do you think they should have taken him alive?
Absolutely. He declared war on us. So as far as he's concerned, I'm a soldier. He said there were no innocent people in those towers on 9/11. He said any American is a soldier. So I feel the same way about him. We didn't kill him. He died in battle.
You don't think those dark-skinned people just kind of imply it by the way they look?
That's very funny, Benji.
Thanks.
Listen, I'm glad they killed him because capturing him would have been the worst thing in the world.
Absolutely, it would have been a circus.
It would have been riots in the city, and he would have been a martyr. He's fucking dead. He's out to sea.
He would have been a reason to do all kinds of other things.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I think they buried like a pinky at sea. I think they have the whole body. They do a medical test. They didn't fucking throw anything in the sea.
Should assassination be okay for U.S. policy?
That all depends on who we're talking about.
Well, we've
It's
signed
a
treaties
case
against
by
that.
case.
Well,
basis.
if you picked him off, is that an assassination? If somebody just,
I think that would qualify as assassination.
Yeah, but by the same token,
It's not a
again,
leader, though.
he was an enemy of the country, and he had declared war on all of us. So
Scott-
however you take him out, you take him out.
Scott, what do you think about this whole thing with Trump running for president and
I think so far he's done nothing wrong, and you guys are all wackos because all he wanted to do was come out, finally Obama could have put this to rest from day one. There was a lot of people who did not think that he was an American citizen.
And why was that?
That was because, you have to admit his one dad was from, I don't know, Africa
His
somewhere.
one dad, how many
I'm
dads
sorry.
do we get?
His dad was from Africa somewhere. His mom had just moved to Hawaii.
Her
It
name's
was a little
Stanley.
suspect.
I know a guy who ran for president against him that was born in Panama.
That was totally there was
Right.
there
It
was
was in Panama.
documentation.
I don't know
for
what
that.
goes on in Panama. That's not the
Gary,
United
we have
States.
something called the Constitution, right?
Yeah.
So if in it there was
He
an
showed the
amendment
fucking
made.
birth certificate. He showed it.
He showed whatever the hell he showed was apparently not good enough for most
And
people.
the
So
state
why
of
not just
Hawaii
end?
said it was fine.
Why not just end the debate and show it? Why did he have to wait 2 years and make a big issue
They
of
couldn't
it?
find it. Did you read anything about
yeah,
that?
bull crap. They suddenly found it a week after Trump made the accusation.
Oh, it was Trump. He got afraid. He was afraid of Donald Trump.
Oh, my God,
And he
if you think-
decided to
it
produce this
absolutely
information.
was that.
Are you out of your mind?
A poll came out the day earlier that said 30% of Americans believe that he is 100% an American citizen. There was a lot of people weren't starting to take Trump's position.
I don't buy that poll. That's a poll that you saw at a place that works for you.
No, it was like a CNN poll.
It was like a CNN
swear to
poll,
God-
or it was a CNN
Gary,
poll?
I swear to God, in my life, it was a poll on your side.
You're saying that 70% of the country didn't believe he was American.
70% of the
Why
country was
would-
willing to believe that it was possible that he was not an American.
Why would he hold back this information?
Exactly. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because he felt it made the Republicans look stupid. And maybe it did in some ways. But once Trump got on board and a lot of people started to believe it because things aren't going so well in the country right now, then he said, well, I'm going to put an end to this fiasco.
Did you see the article I sent out yesterday about how Trump lied about his Vietnam deferment?
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, I mean, he's as goofy.
Would you support? Look, I'm not a big Trump fan. I think some of the things he's saying so far are great, and I'm on with them. But I don't think anyone who has a TV show where he's talking about firing people and that type, I think that would be a little odd to vote for that guy.
You mean like when an actor became the president of the country, that sort of thing?
No, it's not that dipshit. But it was just everything that goes along with him and his fake gold crap everywhere, and I don't know. I think it would be a little odd.
Does it surprise you that Howard's so happy about the Bin Laden thing and the way he's been talking about what went down?
He's always been on the right side of this argument.
How could you not be happy?
Absolutely.
He's on
Even
the wrong
I'm
side
on
of
the right side of this argument.
He's on the wrong side of the rest of the argument.
What do you
What
mean?
is the rest of the argument?
You know, everything that's happening. You know, the Bush stuff and everything recently where he's still supporting this president, even though he's horrible. You know.
But that's an opinion, not a fact.
Of course. Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Opinions.
Okay.
That's what this show is about.
That's what you call Scott for, not facts.
Oh, as opposed to yours, you're not willing to. What did she say this morning when?
What
was it when Howard said? Oh, about the what the nickname for Osama was?
Oh, Geronimo.
Well, I was listening to probably Fox News, and they were saying that.
And you couldn't admit you were wrong. You had to blame the reporter.
I couldn't admit. I didn't go and do this investigation. I was listening to a reporter.
But this is what I was curious about, Scott, and I think this is why John called you down, because I'm curious to know the answer. When all said and done in this particular incident, would you say that Obama did a very good job?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he basically continued the Bush policy, doing a very good job.
See, he's got to always be an addendum.
It's always the man had to make a call in this particular instance. Did he do the right thing?
Here's what I will also say: if Obama was president for say 4 years before, we might not have had the information to get Osama.
Again. As far as I can tell,
in other words, he
talked about all of these names.
He and Holder
long
have been
after
against
the
all the
enhanced interrogation.
All right.
But you can't go down that road because if you want to,
I could do anything I want.
No, but if you blame like what's happening now on what happened, or take credit what happened 4 years ago, 8 years ago, there are good things that happen and bad things that happen. You can't just have your cake and eat it too. There.
But there's a track record here where they're trying to shut down Guantanamo every minute. They're trying to stop the waterboarding. I say fuck these people. I'm not. You know. We got to stop babying this situation, and let's fucking get serious.
You'd think he was on one of those helicopters.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, there was a lot of talk about Jesse James and the controversial picture he took with the SS hat. And Jason felt very strongly about what his intentions were, and that overlapped into Benji suggesting that there's nothing wrong with someone wearing that hat and going to a gay dance club. So Fred was here to chime in, Gary said his piece, I said mine, and there was a lot of talk about the Nazis. Only on the wrap-up show.
Welcome back to the wrap-up show. Before we move on to Doug Stanhope and Bingo, let's talk about how Jesse explained that picture, which became so controversial with the SS hat. He said he is one of the most non-racist people you'll ever meet. He said that today.
Which is usually what somebody says when they're in a situation. I don't know whether he is or isn't. He said he wasn't.
It's all perspective.
When you get into that situation, you're like, I have tons of Jewish friends. I have tons of black friends. Jason, what do you think?
Well, I have to say that. So to me, when Jesse was coming on today, that's what bothered me way more than the Sandra Bullock thing. And I did like the fact that he said he regretted it and he apologized. I thought, what else can you do at this point? But I don't buy his explanation. I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. I don't think. I think there's more than that one picture out there. There's that other picture of him in a car with his friends dressed up like a Nazi and they're giving the Sikh hails. There's another one that supposedly he's in. I don't know if there's a controversy if it's him where he drew a picture of like Hitler doing something, I don't know, and holding it and smiling. And I just don't buy it. I think maybe it was a long time ago and maybe he's a changed person now. But I think when you put on a Nazi uniform and start taking pictures with it, there's not a lot of humor in that for me.
Did he talk about the discussion he had about that on Piers Morgan? Did he discuss that? Because Piers Morgan gave him a really hard time about it, and he was like, "Screw you, your prince is a Nazi." He goes, "I only wore the hat. He had the armbands and everything on."
I think it's Jason. I just think that's yes, maybe he is racist. I don't have any evidence that he is, and to say like putting on.
Although
if I went
Nazi, you can make the same argument. Now, Kid Rock's going through that thing right now,
and
about
I think
the
he's
Confederate
racist
flag, where people are going like, "I see nothing wrong with the Confederate flag," and yet what it represents. I think it's a tricky thing. Sometimes people.
It's not that tricky. Here's the deal: if I went to Benji's house and he handed me a Confederate flag and a noose and said, "Hey, you want to pose for a funny picture?" I'd say no. Because that's offensive and it's wrong.
But I've done that with Benji, and it's okay.
But you don't think some people just put on a Nazi outfit? It's funny.
I wouldn't. I got to tell you right now. If somebody put a Nazi hat on me, I pull it right off because
I've done it, so I can't.
Fred has it. And you know what? I'm the one who rented it for Fred to do it. So we're both guilty.
We had to actually go out to Queens and with a letter.
Outfits?
What's that?
Is it okay for your kids to wear pirate outfits?
Yes.
Sure.
Is a pirate a good person?
Some
Are
of
they
them.
going out raping and killing
The way
people?
they're depicted in movies now with Johnny Depp, yeah, they're good people.
I'm not going to go down this road with Benji. I think you're splitting hairs and parsing stuff. I know if I was at my friend's house and as a joke he pulled out a Nazi armband and said, "Isn't this funny?" I'd leave. Like that.
But it's a
It's a
context.
symbol of hatred.
But what's
It's a
funny?
symbol
Wait,
of
hold
murder.
on. What could be funny about it? Like if I pulled it out and we were together, I go, Benji, you should put this on. Isn't it funny? What's funny about it?
Okay, here's it. Let's say that we all dressed up as Nazis and went to a gay dance club and went dancing. You don't.
But
think
why
that'd be
would we
funny?
do that?
It'd just be.
That's ridiculous.
It would be.
And why
I'm
are
saying
you
the
bringing the
absurdity
gays
of it.
into it?
If you're listen, if you're doing
I think
some
most
sort,
Nazis were.
if you're doing some sort of performance, like okay, so Prince Harry, okay, right, who dressed up like the Nazi, I think that's what.
And
Piers
what was
Morgan
his
referring
reasoning?
to. Now he was at a Halloween party. Now I still think he displayed amazingly poor.
I agree.
disgusting
It was
judgment.
stupid of him.
But at least there was an okay. It was a Halloween party. You're supposed to get into a costume, even though he picked the worst costume possible. When you're hanging out in a friend's house, just throwing Nazi shit on and throwing up the side heel and then the mustache, Sieg Heil. And then by the way, there were lots of questions about that bombshell McGee with her with WP and whether or not she was a white supremacist. I'm just saying, there's a lot of smoke there. I respect the fact that he came on and apologized and said he regretted it. And I would put them. For me personally, I consider it a done issue, but I just don't buy.
He said
his
he
explanation.
apologized about putting on the Nazi outfit.
Yes.
He
said he apologized and he regretted
He
it.
went to rehab for Nazi addiction, by the way.
Now, Fred, did you ever struggle with that? Because you did guess
With
who's
the Nazi
Jew.
addiction?
No, you did. I'm being serious. You did guess who's the Jew. And
You know what? Because it started off as just like one of those weird bits, and then it turned and blew up into something way, way bigger. Yeah, there were times when it was kind of weird to put on the uniform, and the weirdest thing for me was when we were doing Butt Bongo Fiesta, and I'm standing backstage. And I'm trying to hide from Daniel Carver because I don't want him to see me in my outfit, and we wanted it to be a surprise. But he spotted me out of the corner of his KKK eye. A gleam and a glint came into his eye. He came over and he shook my hand, and I was going like, this is when it feels really shitty because,
Well, yeah.
he feels like
he
he's got
thought you were one of them?
He felt like there was a kinship there, and that made me really
The
uncomfortable.
weird thing for us was that Fred did not look entirely unnatural in the outfit. That was we're like, holy shit, Fred looks like a fucking
But
Nazi.
you see, that's why I've got a spare. So if there's a fourth Reich to come along, it's like,
here's
if
the
anybody
deal.
wants to be a friend of mine, I'll put in a good
We're
word
doing
for you.
a scripted, and by scripted I mean, we plan to do this bit. If Fred showed up at the Christmas party dressed like that guy you dress up as, I have a problem.
Well, that was a problem.
But I wouldn't skate even if it was a former character. No, I'm dressing as a character that I portray.
We had to rent the outfit twice, right?
Right.
Once for a live show, once for Butt Bongo Fiesta. The first time I rented it for the live show, no problems whatsoever. Went back to the same place to get it, and there had been an incident where somebody had rented it saying that it was for a stage show, but had in fact taken it around and
they were terrorizing like temples out on Long Island.
So I had to bring a letter on our letterhead taking full responsibility for anything that happened to the outfit while it was in my possession.
And another thing, to go back to Jesse's point where he's saying, oh, it's at the Schindler's List house guy and this is what he has. If Fred had his Nazi outfit at his house, and again, I'm over there, and he goes, hey, Jason, want to put this on for fun and take
So
pictures?
I guess that Hitler watercolor I bought you for your birthday, I got to send that
Please
back.
And this is a
donate
true,
the money to the Holocaust.
This is a true fact. This is a true fact. Fred's outfit was from The Sound of Music, and that's a true fact.
It was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was the
good
cool
fact.
part
Yeah.
about it. You look inside and go, Sound of Music,
You don't see the
1964.
fun of just like, oh, it's fun to dress up.
Yeah, but not in a Nazi outfit.
for me, there's
Really,
not.
that's a
I don't see the
really
fun. I don't.
incendiary outfit.
And I wouldn't
I
dress up
agree
as
it's
a slave
incendiary,
master.
and to do it in certain to do it in a way that's like to provoke someone in a mean way, like to do it in a
Well,
predominantly
you could
Jewish
even go
area
back to the point of the
just to upset
producers,
people.
with Mel
that's
Brooks.
wrong,
I mean,
but-
for
But
him,
what's the-
Springtime for Hitler.
What's the fun way of wearing a Nazi outfit? Tell me the fun way.
like I said,
At a kid's party.
to do it in an absurd way, just to dress up, to do it like in a
What, for the shock value?
for fun. Yeah, I could see it being
I don't see the fun. Like
Well,
we were
fun
doing.
to
Like I
you-
said, going to a gay dance club. Or like going somewhere like
Why are you terrorizing
going
the gays
ice
with
skating,
Hitler?
Going ice skating at Rockefeller Center, dressed up as a
Well, he's
Nazi.
talking about doing a
could be
performance.
funny.
I'm seeing Benji's next bit.
But Benji, if you're doing a TV show, then I can weigh that. To do it for your own humor is wrong.
Well,
It's just wrong. It's just fucking wrong.
Yeah. You guys are like, it's just
No,
like
I know, but I know you have wacky ideas and you like to be a contrarian, but I can't
it's
figure
not
out where
to
you're
be
going with
contrary.
this.
Listen, if someone was trying to do it to upset someone because,
But you don't
they're
think,
Jewish or
okay,
something-
all right, so you're going to be funny, you're going to go to a gay dance club, and just assuming that gays will think it's funny. But what about people that you don't think anybody's going to be fucking
Well, first
wildly
of all,
offended?
I don't think. I don't think what's his name, Jesse James. I don't think he said he just did it at a friend's
I'm talking
house.
about you now. You're at a gay dance club because you're
I
going to
don't
be
go
crazy.
to gay dance clubs anyway.
But I'm just saying,
but
you're
what
in your
I'm saying-
Nazi outfit at a gay dance club. Like, where's the joke? And how do you don't think? How do you
that
don't
was my
think?
first? That was my first thing. I think the ice skating rink would be funny.
Don't you think people at the ice skating rink will be offended?
And also,
Yes.
Did you? You're
Yeah,
a
I do.
comedian. You're describing a performance piece, and is this some piece that you're writing and you want to perform for some artistic
Don't, by the way,
value?
if
yeah, I
you're-
wouldn't, but that's still different than what Jesse did, which is fucking around wearing Nazi shit. And he's
Have
done
you
it.
ever played dress up at all?
I know
Yes.
there's no goofy pictures of you guys that exist
Not in
anywhere.
a Nazi outfit.
Not
man.
not a Nazi outfit. Not any racist
He's
shit.
not.
no.
He just had
What
a
about
hat on.
if
It's
you
a
dressed
goofy
up as a
picture.
terrorist?
it sounds
would
like
that be
Steve's
okay?
got something going on.
I don't know. I never did it.
You used to go to gay dance clubs?
Yes.
Really?
I won some contest at a gay dance club once.
Who can
For
shut the
best-
biggest cock?
No, the prettiest cock contest. I won like a couple $100.
I think Benji's not lying.
Yeah, I told you about that before.
The Nazi symbols stand for nothing but hate and destruction, and there's no other way to look at it. That's all I have to say about it.